In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie in the morning while I'm driving. Ronnie, I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I apologize for being so late. Please forgive me. Thank you guys for being here. Grand Rising, M. Renee, Jill's Comfort Zone. Thank you for being here. Grand Rising, Nappy Child, Foot Soldier, Grand Rising, Foot Soldier. We were just talking about you yesterday. You missed out. Foot Soldier, we were saying you were going to play some music for Jill again. Jill was requesting your DJ prowess again. Just kidding, Foot Soldier. We were over here singing, and we were like saying something about, we're going to have to get Foot Soldier to say, we're going to have to get Foot Soldier to play us some music or something. I don't know. We were just fucking around, messing around. Say what? Get in order. Yeah, we were just messing around. I think it was You Gotta Chill. Said, look, y'all better not mess with Foot Soldier. Okay, so yeah, we know better. We know better. We was just trying to get a rise out of you if you were still around. I hope you guys had a good night's sleep. And let me see if this. No, that is not what I want. I don't want to show big D bottom. I was looking for something else. I guess I erased it. I hope you guys had a good night. What's good? I didn't sign up for that. The screw face. Like, what? Wait a minute. When did that happen? Lord. Okay. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things this morning real quick. I want to talk about a few things real quick. If you're in the chat, can you please hit the like button? If you don't know if you're going to like the thing or not, still just hit the like button. Good morning, Ronnie Q. in chat. Grand Rising, watch a sucker. Watch a sucker. What? You mean watch it, sucker? Watch it, sucker. Hey, watch it, sucker. Hey, Honest. I have a headache, so I'm up top listening. No yelling, please. Well, I'll just sing for you. How about that? I think that would be more soothing to your headache. How about that? Ain't gonna bump no more with no big fat woman. I ain't gonna bump. Hold on. I ain't gonna bump no more with no big fat woman. Ain't gonna bump no more with no big fat woman. Somebody take her. There you go. Grand Rising, she's powered forward. Hey, Tay Bay forever. Hell no. Good to see you guys. Oh, Foot Soldier, if you missed the last, I guess it was a couple of hours of my show yesterday. Oh my God, it was so fun and funny. I left here with my eyes still wet from the crying from tears. So we had a good time over here yesterday. My mom said she forgot about that song. She sure remember it when you told her, when you sent it to her. That's gonna make her headache worse. I am offended. I am personally offended. I'm gonna block both of y'all out. If I had more than uh, two people in here, y'all would be the two people I would block out. She was cracking up. You do. You have to catch it when Jill gets up there. Jill got to pontificate and all of that, and then we get into the foolishness of it all. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about, did you guys what happened yesterday in the news? In the news, there is this. Oh shit! What did I watch? If you guys didn't see, James did a cleanup. He went to the barn and he did a cleanup of a horse. And it was quite interesting. If you haven't caught James' cleanup, go over there and check it out. He gave Tulsa a, do you want, is this what we doing? Just let me know, because shoot, it seems like this is what we doing. Be clear about it. Let me know. So I don't know where that's going to go. The ball is in Tulsa's court. So, shots fired. But from what he says, Tulsa was firing shots all along. So he was like, okay, well, hold on. This is what we're doing. Salute V185. Grand rising to you as well. Landlord 84. I wish your voice were softer because you're funny. My voice cannot be as soft as your dick, landlord. I'm sorry. My voice is what it is, kind of like your limp dick is what it is. Tulsa seemed to want the smoke. I didn't notice that. I haven't. Tulsa has been on Jay Wilson panel a lot, so maybe that's why I didn't notice that. Lordy, what? What happened? Have you heard about China? They put out a list of luxury stores, and that is stores in making sneakers and handbags for $10. They said nothing came from Italy or Paris. Well, everybody should already know who buy luxury things that they've been stopped making luxury bags, and um, but I'm curious about uh, the the Birkin bag. It was my understanding that allegedly the Birkin bag was still made, not in Italy, somewhere, but not in China, of course. Did they include the Birkin bag? It's early, y'all. Damn, what is wrong with y'all? She was popping ish in his chat and over at Ness's. Last night, I didn't watch Ness last night, so um, I'm not surprised about them making luxury goods in China. Uh, if there are some uh, people on YouTube who do unboxing of actually, they do not say that it is Louis Vuitton or Gucci or nothing. They do these elaborate unboxings, and the boxes and everything look like it, like the real thing. They come with all these receipts and cards and stuff, like it's the real thing. And I was like, why are they going through so much trouble for a knockoff bag? I mean, the boxing and all of that stuff. It's not like that Dior, Miss Dior bag. What is it, Lady Dior bag that Pizarro got uh, in that Easter basket at the look at what looked like a grave site, wrapped in a Easter basket with cellophane wrapper. They do a little bit more to try to make their luxury items look like the real thing. So I'm not surprised. I can say I am not surprised. The best thing that you can do is to get your luxury items nowadays on the pre-loved market. Make sure it's, I mean, and those are some of the best. Those are some of the best selling brands anyway. So yeah, I'm not surprised. If you go to places like Farfetch, if you go to places like what goes around comes around, you can get real authentic bags that were actually made in Italy. I remember when Gucci, they used to refurbish your purse. You can just stop by while you were shopping or something, and take your purse in, and most times they would give it to you on the same day, but sometimes you had to come back and get it or whatever. When they stopped doing that, you knew that the brand was going to hell. They used to really care about them. They used to really care about the reputation, and I didn't want their bags out there looking all raggedy and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't buy fake merch. I don't buy fake merch either, because I hey, Ebony Diamond, good to see you. I don't know what side of the bed Ronnie Q woke up on. I woke up on the good side. On the good side of the bed, I would knock landlord in the head if he talks shit about my voice again. How about that? I don't buy fake merch either. I would much rather spend my money on some. I don't buy disposable clothes. I don't buy clothes that's going to peel up, ball up, or anything else after one wear. I don't buy disposable shoes. But I'm not a brand whore, but I do have brands. But I buy what I like, and I buy something of quality that's worth the money. I get what I like. I was talking to one of my friends, and she was saying something about she wanted to find a red outfit, and I was like, I never thought when I go shopping, I never think about I'm gonna buy a red this. I don't wear red, so of course I never, I never think of red. But when I go shopping, I get what I like. I don't go for a particular thing unless it's required. Like, you must wear this color. That's why I hate those usher boards. They tell people that you have to wear sky blue, and you have people coming in with azure blue and royal blue and all of these different blues. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. So I would never be on some committee where they tell you you have to wear all these crazy colors. I don't wear blue and I don't wear red. Those are not my colors. I wear blue jeans. That's the only thing blue I have in my closet is blue jeans. Okay, so when I go shopping, I can be guaranteed whatever I wear, I'm going to have some shoes, I'm going to have a shirt, a blouse, or whatever to go with it because all of my stuff just happens to go with all of my stuff because I buy what I like. And therefore, it's like, oh, I would get this, but I don't have a blouse to go with that. No, I'm going to have a blouse to go with that because I buy what I like. And it just so happens that it makes my closet more interchangeable. And I think that I don't know when I started shopping like that, but it has really worked for me for years. I don't try something because this is a trendy color, but there are exceptions. I tried chartreuse, and that is my color. That is my mainstay color. I love chartreuse. So there are exceptions, and there's plenty of it in my closet as well, and scarves and blouses and things like that. Yeah. So who asked me all that? Pink Book Lessons lets you know everything on his channel. Who is Pink Book Lesson? Who is that? Pink Book Lessons lets you know everything on his channel. I don't know what you mean by that. No bootleg for me. Coach does it. They have this new Coach bag out. It's kind of big. You can put your computer in it and stuff. I kind of like that bag. I really kind of like that bag. Baby, I feel no pity for those fools chasing designers, but yet children going hungry. Let's talk about it. Children sitting up there with their heads like Laura Govan. Kids look like their heads ain't been combed in a week, but she out here laying out clothes and wearing out clothes like she some bad model bitch or some shit. Yeah. No, no. I'm not a designer a whore at all. I mean, I just like what I like, and I like well made things. Uh, that's all I can tell you. They selling everything on TikTok stores. That's why China is cutting off deliveries from the post office in America. Oh, oh, that makes sense. I know. I watch this. I used to watch her more regularly. When I think of her, I go in to see what her ass is up to. The last time I saw her, um, she had been diagnosed with some type of cancer. Sharon, she's so fabulous. I got to go back over there and see if she made it through her procedures. But she's all of a sudden started doing these unboxings, and I was like, what is she doing them unboxing for? And then I noticed that she never said Louis Vuitton. I said, oh, this is some fake shit she unboxing, and so it's a lot of them that do unboxing of of these types of stuff, Dior, all types of shit. And some of them who are representing that they unboxing the real shit, probably unboxing some fake shit. I don't know, but I ain't got it to give. What you crying about, foot soldier? Miss Hummingbirdie, I think China is lying about those luxury items. It's a TikTok scam. It would be no different than shopping from AliExpress and DHgate. But AliExpress doesn't sell replicas of brands, do they? That would be the difference that I see. Nike and Nike and Hermes and other companies are mad. Well, I don't think did they include Hermes in it? Is what I want to know. Watch you sucker. I thought that they. I didn't know exactly what brands they included in it. Is what I'll say. Now, who didn't know that Nike had sweatshops in China in the first place? Everybody should already know that Nike have their sweatshops in China. So what they mad about? Shit, if they didn't take their workshop to China, they mad about not wanting to pay workers in the United States. So they mad? What you mad about? Hey Keisha Bishop, Ronnie Hugh. I haven't been around on purpose, but I know what's up. Blessings and good morning. Well, it's good to see you, Keisha Bishop. My mom loves red. Yeah, she birthed a little devil in you, so I guess that does make her have a fondness of. No, I'm just kidding, Jill. Jill, don't get mad at me. Exactly. Shopping at Shein or Temu is a good way to waste money. Yeah, exactly. A good way. Grand Rising, Bernice. It is so good to see you this morning. Miss Toby, I thought Lent was not over. Grand Rising, Miss Toby. Truth and Reason, it is good to see you as well. Oh, a Chinese man. That's his channel on YouTube. So let me see what you were saying about him again. He shows everything. Let me see what you're saying about the Chinese man again. Pink Book Lessons lets you know everything on his channel. Okay, so if you guys want to know everything about these knockoff brands that they're selling around, watch it, sucker. Says Pink Book Lessons on YouTube gives you all the information about things. Hey, Rose Bennett. I love looking good on the low price Ronnie Hugh. Well, yeah, you know. Good morning, everyone. Okay. No, you just start talking crap to Foot Soldier. You just start giving her eyes and laughing and giggles. Yes, they did. Hermes is racist in Did you see what they did to them two ladies? No, I didn't see what they did to those two ladies. They recently came out. I didn't go in and watch it about something about Van Cleef Apparels that they said that's another brand that is a I don't know if they were trying to say that it's the labor that they use. Let me see if I can find it. Something new about Van Cleef. They said they were like another brand that I don't know. It was kind of disparaging. I can't recall. I don't want to misquote it. hmm Let me see if I can find it right quick. It's a scandal, and it affects on luxury brand. Okay, so let me tell you. Uh, Van Cleef is canceled. There's a lot of stuff. Five unsuspected facts. Van Cleef and apparels. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see. I'll listen for you guys. I'll tell you what they're talking about. Uh, oh God, hold on. He gave the history of Van Cleef. I didn't want the history. Um, is Van Cleef canceled? Let me see if this is. Okay, so they're talking about the Stones are not as good as they should be. I don't know what I don't know what the big scandal is. I don't know. Okay, so these people are just so really mouthy. Voodoo Bado, Grand Rising. So uh, on his channel, he shows you. Uh, they told two black ladies they weren't welcome there anymore for no reason at all. She got fired. Oh, because Trump is in office? I guess. The Chinese call white people dumb. Oh, well. Uh, JD Vance has opened up they have all these memes going around about and with JD Vance. Uh, if you guys on TikTok and other things, I think it's TikTok mostly. China is dragging J.D. Vance because he called them peasants. The Chinese are just peasants, and I'm like, and you need all the things that you use in your normal daily life from that's made in China. Just ridiculously uh, uh, white supremacist identified. He is sickening, and he doesn't try to hide it. In my opinion. Good morning, Kings Mina. Yes, call them bumpkins. Now, who are you talking about? You talking about China called white people bumpkins, or J.D. Vance called the Chinese people bumpkins? And he is a bumpkin because he comes from the what allegedly they said that he tried to play that West Virginia "I'm poor, my mama was on meth" story, but they say his mama was actually employed by some type of medical facility. I don't know if she was a nurse or whatever, and she was misusing prescription drugs. So it wasn't like she was out there cleaning her meth needle in the public bathrooms and to take it her next shot. A hillbilly is calling folks peasants. The actual nerve of it all. She was a nurse on dope. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I knew she worked in the medical. So I didn't know if she was a nurse or whatever. Yeah, she was misusing prescription medication allegedly. So they said that he tried to make it more he tried to make it more intriguing in all of this, but they said that's the only thing it really is. And he was faking most of his upbringing. He's a fraud, is what they're saying. He is a fraud, and that book was. And I didn't know they made a movie about that. Some movie that came out was allegedly based upon his life. Do you know that movie, King's Mina? And it's based on his book. Hey Ashton, how are you? The youngins are planning a smash and grab day in every city and state. They're organizing on Facebook and the gram May 12th. That's stupid. That's absolutely stupid. Uh, they may be the first candidate that winds up in El Salvador. You cannot. Okay, I that's just stupid. That's stupid. All of this doing dumb shit for dumb reasons. I'm not behind any of that. It's just ugh. I understand that the people have insurance and everything and blah blah blah. I understand, but they need to understand that you have an administration that wants to label people who vandalize Tesla dealership as terrorists. So keep playing it with it if you want to, because they looking for crash test dummies, and I guess there's always some available. Yes, I heard of it. But the book is full of lies, so the movie can't be good. Thank you, Kings Mina. I can't even remember the name of the movie, but yeah, that's what I heard about the book, that it was full of lies. Yes, in Netflix, Ron Howard directed it. Yeah, so I was watching some documentary, and that's where I got the meth heads going in. I think they went in Burger King, and he needed a fix, and his needle was dirty, and he put his needle in the public toilet and shot some water up in it and a couple of times and shot it out. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. No wonder they have those sores and stuff at there. Oh my God. I was just send natural to El Salvador. Yes, he's definitely talking about that. And the only reason he's not bringing that guy back, either he's already dead or he's just trying to test the Supreme Court. I don't know why he don't need to test the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court gave him the powers to do what he's doing right now. So I don't know. Maybe that's why you haven't heard a word from them since he has defied their ruling. They told him he could do whatever he thought that was in his presidential power, and nobody could check him. So I don't see what the question is. Everybody acting like they're surprised that he's doing what he's doing. No, I'm not. I love history. I'm off today. My babe never heard of Anthony Hamilton play. Movie and park for us. Disney owns it now. Smash and grab, yeah. I don't think a smash and grab. Technically, you're not going inside the store. Oh well, you can't go inside the store and smash the cases inside the store. Excuse me. The Chinese were clowning JD Vance eyeliner. Do do a whole freak. Yes, that's the one. I think I have it. I think I have it in one of the clips that I'm using for my stories, and they are clowning him about that eyeliner. They said pretty soon he gonna come out with a whole cat eye. Nikki Sixx did that with the needle. Oh God! Now this definitely wasn't Nikki Sixx, but you're saying they did that with the needle as well. That is so disgusting. I have a feeling that that man is unalive. Now, his congressman, Chris Hollingsworth, went up there to check on him. Thank you, Miss Toby, for sending me that clip. And I reported on it yesterday, showed the clip. He was at the airport on his way. And then when he got there, he was only able to see the vice president of El Salvador. He was not able to see Maduro. What is his name? I think whatever his name is. He was unable to see the president. He was able to meet with people at the embassy, but they would not let him see him. And see, when he said that they would not let him see him, it made me feel the same way, Miss Toby. But I have been saying that he is not going to come out of this. But after yesterday, when they said he was not allowed to see the man, I don't think the man is alive. So, the reason that no, okay. So let me center myself before I get pissed off. Okay, see, the whole situation about this is that I hate this fake argument about this. I am not pro illegals coming over here. I think it's way too many illegals here. And so we're not going to start with that premise that well, what you want them to do. But no, what I'm saying is, if you guys are okay with his due process being taken away from him, you're gonna have to be okay with it being taken away from you. Well, he's not an American citizen. The Constitution does not say he has to be an American citizen. It says every person has the right to due process. So we're not going to start parsing words to fit an agenda. That's what we're not going to do. So my problem with this is that if you allow 45, 47 to do and to break the Constitution like that and say it's okay because it's a illegal somebody who crossed the border illegally. uh what's the difference between them and you? So you think that he sees the humanity in you, someone who's not his equal, someone who can't give him something, someone he doesn't benefit from? You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. So all of this argument about who the people are and if they are this or that, they're humans. They have human rights. So okay, this is where we're going to start it from. Okay, the guy came over here allegedly from Venezuela because they were harassing his sisters, his parents, and everything, and again. Now, I thought that this was about Conde Aragua or some gang I've never heard about in Venezuela. It was about the Conde Aragua gang. You got to uh, check out the shifts in the administration's story telling of lies about this. So it was about that gang. So he was picked up and he was picked up on his way to get his kid. He's been in this country for since I think 2008 or 9. Okay, so he allegedly left his country when he was 16 because they were harassing his family. Now, if you live in a bad neighborhood, if you're not in a gang, they're gonna fuck with your kid when they going through the neighborhood. Your kid is gonna have to handle those streets. It's the streets. If you don't go to the gang definitely gonna fuck with you. But and so I don't know how he was fucked with. I just know the story that he left because the gangs were targeting his family. And he saw a judge, and the judge said that he could not go back to Venezuela because of him being targeted. Now, this was about what was about the a Trinde a Waga or whatever gang. Now all of a sudden it has changed into the M13 game. Peep game. Okay, so now so he stays in the United States. And I did not even know. I showed that union boss standing up and said if you want this done, you come to the trade union and we want our brother back. I didn't know that this guy worked for this trade union. I thought that was just a trade union guy talking, and I did not know. So he is employed. His trade union is supporting him. He's married. He has 3 kids. How do you think they found him? This now we talk about waste, fraud, and abuse, and these lazy ass ICE agents, all of these agents that they have hired and all of this stuff who want you to believe that they're going after the worst of the worst first. These lazy motherfuckers are going through all of this information that they're getting from Elon Musk. Now, since when was it Elon Musk's job to help the Department of Defense or ICE or whoever to deport people? And he's not even a natural born citizen himself. He is someone who his own brother said that they overstayed their visas and they were here illegally himself. That's what his brother said. I'm not saying it. His brother said that. So he's getting IRS data. All the people, a social security data, and all of these cards that they suspending. Why are they suspending these special cards for a special classification of people, and where it says on the card you cannot vote? Why are they giving them a social security number so they can work? These are people who have gone to the system, let the system know they're there. The system has told them you can get we're going to allow you to work in this country till we figure out if we're going to give you a citizenship or a green card or whatever. So These are the people they're hunting after. They're just being lazy ass. You can see that fucking tomato nose motherfucker who they got over it. He looked like a lazy piece of shit. He always slurring his words. He can't even say his words properly. You think he's out there doing any vigorous work? No, this lazy looking motherfucker out here going to agencies getting what illegals do you have? Well, they got social. Give me all of them. That'll be a good roundup to show the people. They're not doing a jack shit. They're going to these agencies that these people are in touch with, doing the things that they're told to do to stay here. And that's where they're getting the people from. One, I showed you the one guy yesterday. He has been waiting for his last interview or whatever with immigration. And when he got the call, he was suspicious. He was like, this could be this could be a trick from Todd to fuck me up or whatever Aunt Bertha said. This could be a trick from Todd to what was Aunt Bertha said? Anyway, he was like, this could be a trick from Todd to get me messed up in the game. Then he goes, no, I'm going to go to it was at immigration. I said it was at the court by mistake at first time. It was at immigration. So he goes to the meeting at immigration, and guess what happened? ICE arrests him. That's what they did. They set him up as if this was his final appointment at immigration. They set him up. So he was already in the system. Now they're acting like they are trying to get people who are sneaking here just to do bad things, bad actors, and do you want murderers and apists and all of this stuff, all of the dramatics, and they just going straight through database bases. See, I'm not going to excuse none of this bullshit. This is a whole lot of bullshit in theatrics to keep you not understanding the other shit that they doing in the background that's going to fuck you up. While you looking at somebody else with your nose turned up, do you know what they doing to fuck you up? What they doing to fuck you up is they are saying that they want to change the law that if any people protest, they can deem them as terrorist agents. That's what they doing to fuck you up. Why are you saying it's okay for them to do all of these illegal things to those people? They want to label you a terrorist as well. Now that's first of all, he was in the 10-day Trinde Awaga gang, and now it's M13. Okay, so it's none of the game. You hear them sit up and tell these lies that two judges have said that he was in the game. That never happened. These are the lead person in the Department of Justice, Pam Bimbo, is saying these lies. J.D. Vance is coming out saying these lies, and then they say that he has been convicted of being a gang member. That never happened. He's never been convicted of being a gang member. Okay. Then they're saying he's a gang leader. Then they're saying he's a trafficker. He's a human trafficker. Where did any of this happen? He has become all of these things, and yet there's no court filing, accusation, or anything about him being a human trafficker. Now he's human trafficker. He's all of these things, and none of these things in court. So let me share with you this. Uh, there's so much more that I can say about the BS, but let's see how we started on this road with this administration. And I'm going to tell you the actual truth. Let me see. I think Oh, I want to hear you. I want you to hear some of these accusations that they are putting out first. Here we go.
First of all, it was an administrative error as to why he was deported, and he is a known gang member.
Okay, it was first of all, it was an admit. They have the change. The story has changed so many times. Now she's telling you it was an administrative error. They have admitted that it was an administrative error. Now they're saying, oh, no, well, when we said administrative error, we meant that another piece of paperwork had to be taken care of and he still would have been deported. So you said that it was administrative error, but now it wasn't. You were just waiting on another piece of paperwork. So the deportation was justified. Let's continue.
Testified he was a gang member, and we believe he should stay where he is a gang member. ICE testified he was a gang member.
ICE testified that he was a gang member. How ICE testified that he was a gang member? Oh, so what was that test? A lot of people testify to a lot of things. A lot of people testify to some shit that they know that's not real. Was the testimony believed by a jury or a judge? I can testify that you're a dumb bitch, but you have a college degree and a juris doctorate. But hey, let's continue.
First of all, it was an administrative error as to why he was deported, and he is a known gang member. ICE testified he was a gang member, and we believe he should stay where he is. The 261 on that first flight are 261 reasons why our country is safer. They are not coming back. They are staying in a prison in El Salvador. Jesse, you know, when you're listening to all these liberal reporters, they keep calling him a Maryland man. He's not a Maryland man. He has no right to be there. But for an extra step in paperwork, just like you said, he would go right back to El Salvador, which is his home country, where he belongs. And President Bukele does not want to give him back to the United States, nor do we want him back.
Right. This is Pam Bondi, a lawyer who won.
Okay, nor do we want him back. Yes, it seems like the Supreme Court does want him back. They told you to do just that. But then you guys sit out here and pretend like the court ruled something opposite of what you're purporting. Okay, so let's go to another airhead liar. Okay, who has said many lies. This is where I think J.D. Vance was the first one who said something about human trafficking.
This is the aircraft carrier shelter you seized.
Let's be clear. They have brought no criminal charges against this man. But they're saying all of these things, he's all of these types of criminals. But they charged him with zero crimes. They just put him in a prison for the rest of his life. Where in the world do you find people to do that in fucking countries that have no rights? Authoritarian countries. That's where you find people that do that. Let's continue.
People to try and stop them.
The Vice President said he was a convicted member of MS-13. What evidence is there to back that up?
There's a lot of evidence, and the Department of Homeland Security and ICE have that evidence, and I saw it this morning.
In what court?
Okay, so you saw it this morning, but you're not sharing it. This is the press. This is the press. How come the press hasn't been able to find it? I'm going to tell you what the press was able to find, though. I'm going to tell you what they are not saying. If ICE and the Homeland Security have the information, they're going to have this information. I don't know if some of you guys know this. I want you to hear all the fucking shit they saying before I let you know what the real is. Let's continue.
was he convicted and for what? The judge ordered that he should remain in this country. So are you saying that it is okay to ignore a judge's ruling if you don't like it?
Who does that judge work for?
It doesn't matter who the judge worked for. The judge was working for the same was working for the same agency that it worked for prior to 45 and 47 getting in office. So, bitch, are you serious? Just because 45, 47 doesn't like a judge's ruling that was made prior to him ever getting in office, that the ruling doesn't stand? Are you saying any ruling that a judge puts down doesn't stand if 45, 47 don't like it? Bitch, we live in America. We don't live in, well, even though they're trying to return it into a banana republic. That this ruling was made years ago when the judge put in the ruling that he can gave him a stay to stay in the United States because it was too dangerous for him to go back. Now I can see if they found him wilding in the street and doing gang activities with a gang. No, they didn't do any of that. And they want to convince you that they know and ICE know and this one know, and we're going to let you know what they really know. Okay, let's continue.
It was an immigration judge who works for the Department of Justice at the direction of the Attorney General of the United States, whose name is Pam Bondi, Supreme Court.
No, he wasn't when he made that decision, he did not work for Pam Bondi. See, she's equating the judge who gave him a stay. He was here illegally. No, he was given a stay. But now she's trying to conflate this with the judges who are on the case now that work under the Department of Justice, which is unfortunately held overseen by Pam Bondi. This is bullshit. Notice the bait and switch to this bitch. Oh my God.
For what? The judge ordered that he should remain in this country. So are you saying that it is okay to ignore a judge's ruling if you don't like it?
Who does that judge work for?
He's an immigration
It was an
judge.
immigration judge who works for the Department of Justice at the direction of the Attorney General of the United States, whose name is Pam Bondi. Supreme Court made their ruling last night very clear that it's the administration's responsibility to facilitate the return, not to effectuate the return. I believe the Department of Justice just filed another brief in the lower court.
Okay, so nobody gives a fuck about what the Department of Justice filed. The Department of Justice was told by 3 court by 13 judges that he should be back, and you still filing paperwork, but you don't never answer the questions that the judge tell you to answer in the paperwork that he wants you to have the next time he comes see you. Is the man alive? Where is he? And what are you doing to get him back home? And what will you be doing to get him back home? But you ain't never got the answers to that. Okay. So they're talking about I don't know what they're I guess they're slow walking this to make sure that they dot all their I's and cross all their T's. But now they're talking about the first judge. He's talking about holding them in contempt of court. And he's giving them 2 weeks to come back with some information. He should have given them until tomorrow. He wants to know who he should charge with contempt. He's saying that we want to know who are making these decisions. Well, since they work for the Department of Justice and they work under Pam Bondi, maybe let's go straight to the top. You know who they work for. If you don't, this bitch can tell you who they work for. Who you work for. But she can tell you who you work for, Judge. So go on and get Pam Bondi. Fuck.
Would defer you to that.
From Trump's attack dog Pam Bondi to professional propagandist Caroline Levitt. The message is clear. Innocence doesn't matter. Legal status, it doesn't matter. You are what ICE says you are.
Okay. So let's go here.
Salvador after he fled gang violence there.
To replace the table, we chose to get something that's modern.
Hold on 1 second.
they hurt along the way.
The Trump administration's acknowledged that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was removed from the U.S. in error on March 15th. But the administration claims they're now powerless to bring him back to his family, even though the Trump administration is paying El Salvador $6 million a year to.
Okay, remember they said oh, well, it was a mistake, but it's nothing we can do. And when they had the president sitting there right next to him, did he ever attempt to say that, I got to get that one person back? No. And now it's his calling. He's a Venezuelan citizen. It's his calling. All of the contortions and lies behind this. Okay, let's continue.
Prison immigrants expelled from the United States. Abrego Garcia, who's from El Salvador, was granted protected legal status in the U.S. by an immigration court in 2019, prohibiting the federal government from sending him back to El Salvador after he fled gang violence there.
And the posture of the administration.
Now, in 2019, Pam Bondi wasn't over the Department of Justice. That's who granted him stay to leave. And you see this bitch, you see how she contorted one thing to be something else? Get the fuck out of here.
Administration has been, we made a mistake. No, we're not going to do anything whatsoever to fix it. And no court can order us to fix it.
The only evidence against your client consisted, quote, of nothing more than his Chicago Bulls hat and hoodie, and a vague, uncorroborated allegation from a confidential informant claiming he belonged to MS-13's Western Clique, a place he's never lived.
Let's talk about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland father who was snatched up by ICE last month after picking up his 5-year-old son from school. He lived here legally for 14 years. His wife and 3 children are U.S. citizens. ICE accused him of being in MS-13, later admitted it was all a mistake. But when his lawyers asked the court to order his return, Trump's Department of Justice said, nope, they claimed the...
Okay, let me... let's get to this idiot right here, Stephen Miller. Okay.
Not mistakenly sent to El Salvador. A DOJ lawyer who has since been relieved of duty, a saboteur, a Democrat, put into a file.
A saboteur, a Democrat, the lawyer who they sent to argue against bringing this man home, they have fired. Now he's all of a sudden a saboteur, a Democrat. Do they drug test these people? Do they drug test these people who work under this administration? I really need to know.
Incorrectly that this was a mistaken removal. It was not. This was the right person sent to the right place. We've been living through a hoax. Nobody was mistakenly sent to El Salvador. He was ordered deported from this country in 2019. He's an illegal alien. His home nation is El Salvador. That is where he belongs.
And then you've got Stephen Miller, one of the architects of this cruelty, on Fox News here, pretending none of this is real. He claimed that the deportations are only targeting criminals. But here's the truth. Stephen Miller knows exactly what's happening. This is about scaring immigrants, empowering ICE to act like a paramilitary force, funneling people, wrongfully or not, into the prison systems of foreign countries. These people aren't just racist. They're power-drunk authoritarians who want to erode the rights of anyone they don't deem American enough. Miller lies because the truth would destroy the whole justification for these programs. And Trump's loyal media surrogates, they run cover for it like they always do.
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CNN. Low-rated. Which one is that?
The man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador.
Well, let me ask Pam, would you answer that question?
Sure, President. First and foremost, he was illegally in our country. He had been illegally in our country. And in 2019, 2 courts, an immigration court and an appellate immigration court, ruled that he was a member of MS-13 and he...
Okay. A judge gave him a stay to be in the country. So let's cut the line. 2 judges ruled that he was a member of MS-13. That's a straight up lie. He was accused of being, but the judge said he didn't find any findings, and the person that they put up to testify was not did not persuade the judge that he was a gang member. But she's sitting her ass up here telling you these lies. Do they drug test these people? Do they drug test these people? I really want to know.
He was illegally in our country. Right now, it was additional paperwork that needed to be done.
You can be so concise about this. It was a paperwork. It was a paperwork. Now you can't get your lie straight. Now you can't get your lie straight. That should have your fucking ass in jail.
Done. That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him. That's not.
Well, the president of El Salvador is sitting right in your motherfucking face, bitch. Ask him. Tell him. Our court says that he needs to be back. But no, you're sitting up here lying, saying your court says something totally different. Totally different. And that's up to Al. Ask him, bitch. There's your president sitting right next to them. Neither one of you guys told or asked to bring him back. Okay, let's continue. There go funky ass JD Vance sitting up there with his heavy top and little legs and his eyeliner. And look at Marco Rubio. You are trash, Marco Rubio. Total trash. To go in and to write all of these orders, rescinding people visas based and from colleges and stuff based upon allegedly their internet activities and them being part of pro-Palestine protests and calling them pro-Hamas protests. You're trash, Marco Rubio. Trash. And not even alerting these students that you have revoked their visas, just letting them think that they still on their visas only for ICE to have time to finally to get them and put them in jail to be deported. You're trash, Marco Rubio. See, they're supposed to be getting the worst of the worst. These are the people they're targeting, people who are already in the system. But they want you to believe that they are getting people who just snuck in and they are over here for a nefarious reason, and they're not doing the right thing and this, that, and the other. How dare you have a difference of opinion about what's going on in Israel and support the people who are being ethnically cleansed from their own homeland. How dare you? I went off on a tangent. I apologize.
To us, the Supreme Court ruled, President, that if, as El Salvador wants to return him, this is international matters, foreign affairs. If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it.
This bitch talking like as if this man not right sitting right in her face. If they wanted to. It ain't no they. It's the man right there in front of your face, you stupid bitch.
Meaning provide a plane.
So will you return him?
And you are doing a great job. Thank you.
Look, he is impressed at how this bitch lied. You are doing a great job. Trash. All of these people. Trash. Straight trash.
Wait a minute. Could you just also respond to that question? Because, it's asked by CNN and they always ask it with a slant because they're totally slanted because they don't know what's happening.
Now he's talking about CNN. Now he's talking about people who ask valid questions. See, he's not talking about the My Pillow representation of a reporter that they have let in the White House while excluding the AP from the White House, even though a judge said that they should be in the White House. No, he got the My Pillow guy. He has some type of broadcasting channel, and his reporter has access to the White. So CNN, that's why nobody's watching your show. And now here comes this sycophant, racist, in my opinion, Stephen Miller again.
That's why nobody's watching them. But
then there's Pam Bondi again, doubling down, falsely claiming that Garcia had no legal status, as if that would somehow justify what's happening to him. Trump and Bukele both jumped on her lie. Not only are they refusing to correct the record, but they're actively endorsing it. You've got Bukele, the president of El Salvador, refusing to return Garcia to his administration, and he has every power to fix it.
With respect to you, he's a citizen of El Salvador. So it's very arrogant even for American media to suggest that we would even tell El Salvador how to handle their own citizens.
Now, asking a question, are you going to release him? Now, this is the media doing what the media is supposed to do, ask valid questions. And this piece of trash turns around to her and say, it's very arrogant for you to tell him what to do. And nobody told him. Oh, he's so sickening.
Sorry. As 2 immigration courts found that he was a member of MS-13. When President Trump declared MS-13 to be a foreign terrorist organization, that meant...
Okay, so he said that 4547 declared MS-13 a terrorist organization. But you guys were initially saying that he was a part of the other gang. Okay, and then you're going to say that MS-13 no longer exists. So if MS-13 no longer exists and no judge has deemed him to be a gang member, like you saying that judges said that he was a part of MS-13, that didn't happen. And they're going to go further and say that MS-13 no longer exists. I guess they mean in Venezuela. I don't know. This is what comes out of their mouth. Either he is or he ain't, or how if he is a part of a gang that doesn't exist, how does that work?
That he was no longer eligible under federal law, which I'm sure you know, you're very familiar with the INA, that he was no longer eligible for any form of immigration relief in the United States. So he had a deportation order that was valid, which meant that under our law, he...
Okay. You had a deportation order that was valid. No, you did not, because he already had a stay to stay in the United States. So trying to rewrite this story is bullshit. That's all he's trying to do. And look at Donald Trump over there. What happened? Oh, you did a fantastic job. And look at Marco Rubio. He can't even hold his eyes up off the floor because he should be ashamed. He has no pride within himself. He would do anything to keep this job, thinking it's gonna propel him somewhere. It's gonna propel your ass to prison, you dumb motherfucker.
He's not even allowed to be present in the United States and had to be returned because of the foreign terrorist designation. This issue was then, by a district court judge, completely inverted, and a district court judge tried to tell the administration that they had to kidnap a citizen of El Salvador and fly him back here.
No, what the judge actually told your administration is if he's on the plane, turn the plane around. Ain't tell you had to kidnap somebody from anywhere. They told you before you even got him there. So let's not pretend. Let's go back and continue to pretend with this lying motherfucker.
Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said the district court order was unlawful and its main components were reversed 9-0 unanimously.
So now he's saying that the Supreme Court reversed the order of the prior courts that said he must come back. Now they're misrepresenting the 9-0 vote of the Supreme Court that they must make sure that he gets back home. Now you just heard the spoke person liar say, well, they didn't say that we had to effectuate the release. They said that we had to do something to the release, and it's not up to us to do anything. No, and now he's saying that they didn't say they had to release him at all. He's saying that the Supreme Court overruled the lower judges, saying that he had to come back home. This is what Stephen Miller is saying, that the Supreme Court decision was not that they must come back home. Let's continue.
And its main components were reversed 9-0 unanimously, stating clearly that neither Secretary of State nor the President could be compelled by anybody to forcibly retrieve a citizen of El Salvador from El Salvador, who again is a member of MS-13.
I asked
¿Usted lo liberaría, Presidente Bukele?
Can President Bukele weigh in on this? Do you plan to return him?
Well, I'm also not suggesting that I smuggle a terrorist into the United States.
It's only
How can I return him to the United States? Like, if I smuggle him into the United States, or whether I do it, of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
But you could release him inside El Salvador.
Yeah, but I'm not releasing, I mean, we're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. We just turned the murder capital of the world to the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world?
Okay, so let me see what you got. Hey, stop. Hey, Mike Concrete Naps, thank you for being here. Misdirection plays after misdirection plays. It's crazy. Okay, so I've had enough of them. I want to stop this screen because I want to share with you something you may not have heard. The real reason. Let me share this with you. What really happened? We want to talk about the detectives in this case that why he is allegedly deemed a MS-13 gang member. We're going to talk about what absolutely has happened in this case that is available to them. She's the DOJ, Pam Bimbo is, but she's going to act like she does not have access to this. One of the things that they said in the case, the first trial that gave him a stay, the very first time that they gave him a stay years ago, they tried to say he was an MS-13 gang and someone wanted to talk to the detective. They were unable to talk to the detective because the detective had been suspended. So no, somebody decided to pry into that and to see, well, wait a minute. Well, where did they get this confirmation?
I think it's worth
Where did they get this confirmation from? So let's listen. I'm not going to interrupt this. I want you to soak this in.
A step back to take a look at the very not complicated big picture here. And that is this. This entire undertaking by the Trump administration is itself illegal, insanely, flagrantly lawless, and rotten to its core, and it has been from the start. So let's remember how this all started. To begin with, right? The White House kicked off this deportation and renditioning scheme by invoking a little-known 200-year-old law, the Alien Enemies Act, as justification. And to be clear, prior to this administration, that law, the Alien Enemies Act, had only been invoked 3 times before. The War of 1812, when the Brits were here and burning down the White House, World War I, where tens of thousands were dying in the trenches, and World War II. Most infamously, it was used as the justification for Japanese internment camps during the Second World War, one of the most shameful periods of this country's history. But all 3 times this act was invoked, the United States was actually and undeniably at war, right? But in order to create some justification to start this bizarre and appalling spectacle, right? To kick legal residents out of the country, no due process. The White House just decided to pretend like we're at war again. We're at war with Venezuela. Okay, are we? But also, just to be specific, not just Venezuela, we're at war with this one specific gang, Trenderagua, which most Americans have never actually heard of. Again, I'm reading from Trump's invocation of the Alien Enemies Act. Trenderagua is a designated foreign terrorist organization with thousands of members, many whom have unlawfully infiltrated the U.S. and are conducting irregular warfare and undertaking hostile actions against the United States. The gang is closely aligned with and indeed has infiltrated the Maduro regime, including its military and law enforcement apparatus. So first things first, it's a lie. conducting irregular warfare. This is like Al Qaeda being here or something. Tren de Aragua is not an arm of Maduro's government. Trump's own experts privately admit as much. The New York Times reported on an assessment from U.S. intelligence agencies, which, quote, concluded the gang was not directed by Venezuela's government or committing crimes in the United States on its orders. So again, it's a lie. It's a lie they know from inside, from their own intelligence assessment. It's on par with George W. Bush's administration's lies about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. But also, and I really can't stress this enough, we're not at war with Venezuela. It's ludicrous to say we are. Not only are we not at war, but the gang they've identified as a foreign terrorist organization being directed by a foreign government is not actually being directed by that government. And they know all this, okay? But then on top of this, they use these foundational lies to give them the power to snatch people off the street because of their tattoos, which they have decided mark them as soldiers in the war they've made up out of whole cloth. Like the gay makeup artist with crown tattoos, or the man with an autism awareness tattoo in tribute to his little brother with autism, or the singer and father of a newborn child with a hummingbird inked on his neck. One guy went so far as to get a declaration from his tattoo artist confirming his tattoos, including a rose, were not gang related.
So if we're at war with this gang, at the command of their president, why is their president sitting up in our White House, acting cool, calm, and collected? Do you get the connection? And why is our president paying him to keep these prisoners in his prison? If they are actually enemy combatants that are working under the name of their government, why wouldn't we just deport them back to their country? And why are we paying to keep them in their country? And the president sitting up here, calling them terrorists. Well, you take your citizens back, and we don't give a fuck what you do to them. Don't have them. Don't come back over here. No, but we're paying them millions of dollars. Let's continue. To see the bullshittery of the bullshit is what I want you to. You ain't heard the half. We getting to the good part now.
The kicker to all of this is that according to the journalist who literally wrote the book on Tren de Aragua, quote, Venezuelan gangs are not identified by tattoos. To be a member of one of these Venezuelan organizations, you don't need a tattoo. So on top of the lies and the absurdities, this war they've invented that doesn't exist, the power the government says they say has but doesn't have, they're using something to target people that has nothing to do whatsoever with the deadly menace they themselves cite as the pretext for the whole thing. It's all made up, all of it, from scratch. And again, to step back, the tattoos are not the issue. It doesn't even matter if they are in the gang. There are dangerous gangs in Venezuela and in South America. They do really awful stuff. Totally stipulated. Okay? Arresting people without probable cause, and then not just deporting them to a country to be a free citizen there, which is what normally happens in deportation, shipping them out of the country without due process to a horrifying prison they can never get out of in a country many of them have never been to is tyranny. It's lawless. Defying U.S. court orders to do so is lawless. There isn't a single part of this entire thing that stands up to the smallest amount of scrutiny. The whole thing, the entire enterprise, is just sheer lawlessness.
Oops, I don't think that's the right video. That was a rant. That was not the correct video. I was like, he should be getting to the good part by now, but he never got to the good part. Okay, so let me get the correct video about the investigation of the cop of the arrest, the initial arrest. Here it is right here. Here we go. Let me share my screen with you. I apologize for that. I was like, when is he? The video is almost over. This is a very detailed situation that we're dealing with here. And he hasn't gotten to the point. Okay. Let me share with you the actual real reason that he was arrested and found by a judge. Now they're talking about 10-day Aragro, that game initially, but then now you hear them say that he was a part of MS-13. So make any of that make sense. The most recent things that they have to say about him is that he was a member of MS-13, but Trinde Aragro was designated a terrorist, a terrorist gang that was working under the Venezuelan administration, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's what I want you to hear. The real story. I apologize for sending you through all of that rant, but let's go. I'm not going to interrupt
the wrongfully deported man. Hi, this is Andrew Egger with The Bulwark. We've been covering a lot this story of the wrongfully deported man to El Salvador, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who the Trump administration is really digging in their heels, resisting even the Supreme Court's directives that they need to do what they can to get him back. A lot of what we have focused on with this story is just the kind of top level due process concerns, the legal wrangling and the kind of wildly expansive power to deport without an adversarial judicial process that the Trump administration is insisting that it has. The administration has insisted that he is, in fact, an MS-13 gang member, and that they have a lot of good reasons to believe that. And they hang their hat in that in that assessment very largely on one brush that this man had with a cop who picked him up on suspicion of being in company of gang members years and years ago. But new details about that encounter, about how that all went down in the first place, continue to come out. And Greg Sargent with the New Republic had a great piece out yesterday, breaking some new news. That really just shines a spotlight on just how flimsy and pretextual all of this is. Greg, thanks for coming on to talk to me a little bit about this today.
Great to see you, Andrew.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a role reversal here. I've been on your show, and this is the first time you've probably been on other Bulwark products. This is the first time I've been in the host chair with you. So thanks for coming on. Maybe give a little bit more background on what the administration is claiming with regard to this guy's record. What we already knew, kind of before yesterday, and then what you have dug up yourself.
They say oats are healthy, but once you learn what they really do to your gut, you'll never eat them again.
Now, this is the real story. What this dude finna tell you about the detective, the initial arrest is going to floor you. That none of this has come up in all of this time, which could quickly be discovered by the Attorney General of the United States. And you don't think it has been discovered by Pam Bimbo? Let's hear the real. Okay. Let me get past this commercial.
So we have to go back to 2019 for this, which is when Kilmar Abrego Garcia was picked up the first time. He was ultimately detained by ICE, but in the process of getting to ICE, he was detained by the Prince George's County Police Department. Prince George's County is a suburb of Washington, D.C., just northeast and southeast of D.C. This was in the northern part. This is in Hyattsville. It was where he was picked up at a Home Depot in Hyattsville. So what happened was the detective then detectives questioned him and asked him if he had ties to MS-13. He said no. They transferred him to ICE. He was not charged with a crime of any kind related to gang activity. He was only transferred to ICE by virtue of the fact that he was in the country illegally. He had come in 2011 at the age of 16 from El Salvador. This is where we get to what the Trump administration is arguing. At the time, a Prince George's County detective filled out what's known as a gang field interview sheet. That lays out what the detective thinks is the evidence of this man's supposed ties to MS-13. You've heard the evidence that talked about endlessly. One of the pieces of evidence is that he was wearing a Chicago Bulls jacket and hoodie that was doctored up in a supposedly gang-like way. The other is that a quote-unquote confidential source said that he was a member of MS-13, the Westerns clique, but that happens to operate in New York, which is not a place he's ever lived. But the core thing here, and I'll try to make this quick, is that all this comes from this gang field information sheet filled out by this one detective. And we were able to establish that the detective subsequently was suspended for serious professional misconduct, sharing confidential police info with a sex worker. He was ultimately
What? He was suspended for sharing confidential information with a sex worker. Do tell. And all of this hangs on him filling out this card. This man who was suspended from his job, this detective who shared. Tell me more about this detective, will you?
indicted for that as well, put on probation.
He was indicted for it and put on probation. This detective was indicted and put on probation for it. Tell me more about this detective. How come nobody told Pam Bondi about this? Let's continue.
Sharing confidential police info with a sex worker. He was ultimately indicted for that as well, put on probation. And so the short version is that that casts a whole lot of doubt on the core piece of evidence that the administration is claiming links him to MS-13.
We're essentially going off of the word of a guy who was not, not only is he not a judge, not only is he not a jury, he's not even particularly reliable or trustworthy, it seems, as a cop. So can you just talk to me a little bit about how you ran all this down, how this stuff has come out, and why we're only hearing about some of this stuff for the first time?
So from the plaintiff's side, what the court papers lay out is a little bit cryptic in some regards, and that's what gave me kind of the opening to pursue it. What they say is that at the time in 2019, when they were contesting the effort to deport Abrego Garcia that first time, they tried to talk to the chief detective on the case. They wanted to contest the evidence that he had offered, quote unquote evidence of his membership in MS-13. And they were informed, say the court papers, that this detective was suspended. That's all the court papers say. They don't say who the detective was.
Okay, so when they're trying to investigate what the detective wrote down on his card about him wearing certain clothing, Chicago Bulls something, and this alleged. Now, I don't even hear that the detective wrote anything about alleged person. Well, maybe he did say that. Whatever. Okay, so when they are contesting it and want to talk to the detective is under suspension. What is the detective under suspension for? Let me take it back a hair. Okay, here we go.
That this detective was suspended. That's all the court papers say. They don't say who the detective was or why he was suspended because they didn't know at the time. The plaintiffs were unable to establish that. They were simply told by PGPD, the Prince George's Police Department, that he had been suspended. And so looking into that a little more, we were able to get this gang field interview sheet, and it had the name of the cop on it, and it had and it had the quote unquote evidence that he had offered. And a little digging showed that he had been suspended for these serious transgressions. Now, so that's how we got there. I want to clarify one point, though. Even if we had an enormous mountain of evidence that made it absolutely 100% certain that Abrego Garcia was a member of MS-13, he would still be entitled to due process.
He was suspended for the transgressions of what he did in this case. By the time the case went, they were fighting the case, and the cop couldn't even be questioned because he was on suspension for what he did in this case. Let's rewind, make sure we understand what he's saying.
At this gang field interview sheet, and it had the name of the cop on it, and it had and it had the quote unquote evidence that he had offered, and a little digging showed that he had been suspended for these serious transgressions. Now, so that's how we got there. I want to clarify one.
He had been suspended for these serious transgressions. Let's continue. Even the police force, Pam Bondi, who is operating in Washington, D.C., can't ride 15 minutes over to Prince George County and talk to his boss? Of course not. That's irrational.
One point, though, even if we had an enormous mountain of evidence that made it absolutely 100% certain that Abrego Garcia was a member of MS-13, he would still be entitled to due process. He would still be entitled to have his hearing in court over the current deportation, and this deportation that they've done to this maximum security prison in El Salvador would still be illegal.
Yeah, and just to follow up on what you were just saying, I mean, I don't know if you saw the post that JD Vance made this morning. The administration has been basically flailing all through their response to this whole scandal in the wake of the Supreme Court ruling that essentially said, no, they do have to go and get this guy back. They are continuing to stonewall that in court. They're continuing to do this very bad faith reading of the court's ruling, essentially saying, well, we think that when they say that we have to try to go get that guy back, we don't actually really have to. That's still basically our prerogative. The lower court judge isn't really hearing it. The White House is making all kinds of insane statements about it, Trump in the Oval Office. And then this morning, JD Vance basically made a post on Twitter where essentially what he says is, look, like, all you guys who are making these, crying about due process is what he said. All you people are crying about due process. Well, what's your plan? What's your plan that could satisfy your oh so precious due process concerns and still let us deport millions of people a year? Well, obviously we got to deport millions of people a year. So I don't know. Our hands are kind of tied. We just got to do it. And I mean, like, it was such a striking thing to have him come out and not just say we are giving these guys due process, not just tell that lie, which is kind of what they've been doing. They've been saying the process has been adequate, but to kind of scoff at the entire idea that anyone would stick up for any process considerations for these people.
Yeah, and by the way, I'd like to actually answer JD Vance's question, at least with regard to Kilmar Abrego Garcia right here. At any time, the administration has the option of bringing him back to the United States and retrying him for deportation. They don't have to let him go free forever, right? What they can do is they can actually reopen and challenge the judge's initial grant of withholding of removal. They can say, we are recontesting that. We think we have the right to deport him to El Salvador, which is the thing that his withholding of removal status prevented. Alternatively, they can say, we are going to deport Abrego Garcia to a third country, not El Salvador. And they have the right to do that under the withholding of removal order, because the withholding of removal order says you can't deport him to El Salvador. So JD Vance is absolutely full of shit when he says this stuff. Let's just be very clear. And he knows it. He's trained in the law, I think. And so why they won't just reopen the case is a huge mystery about this whole thing that still hasn't been answered.
The more you look into any one facet of this, the more you really just get the sense that, far from just sort of trying to triangulate for fewer illegal immigrants in the country, the White House is going about this in a way that the thing that they are interested in maximizing at all points in time is their own personal discretionary power vis-a-vis any other part of the government. And obviously that...
Okay, so we're clear on the fact that the judge said that he could not go back to Venezuela because it was dangerous for him. So the judge did not say because he was in MS-13 gang. And what difference does it make that he was or was not in MS-13 as they want to hang their hat on in this administration, when this administration was initially talking about Trande Aguaga, some gang that we have never heard of, and I had never heard of until this administration started talking about the name of this gang, allegedly that all of these Venezuelans were a part of. But now they're saying he's a part of MS-13. You said that MS-13 is still alive and well. They're saying that he's a part of MS-13, and then they're going to turn around and say MS-13 doesn't exist anymore. I'm not saying this. This is what the dummy the liar Stephen Miller is saying. I will play that clip for you. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, but I got something else for you before I play that clip. Let me think. I think there's a little bit more on this one I want you to hear.
That goes a lot farther than just immigration as well.
Yes, I think you're actually putting your finger on a really core depravity about all this, right? Which is that they actually want to dispense with due process altogether for migrants. I mean, that's basically what J.D. Vance is more or less saying. He said it elsewhere as well. As you say, there's always the option of hiring more immigration judges. Look, here's the thing, Andrew. They actually do have a problem on their hands, meaning the Trump administration, for their deportation agenda. Due process is an obstacle to removing people on the scale that they want to remove them, right? But they won't hire more immigration judges and scale up the system in order to, speed up the processing and maximizing the processing of people, precisely because it would grant due process. What they're actually trying to do is dispense with that.
J.D. Vance made that very clear this morning when he makes kind of the rhetorical pivot from what they have been saying about Kilmer Abrego Garcia. Well, I can't believe all these people would stick up for due process for this.
And see, they're trying to make you feel like you're wrong. Like you guys want to support. Now this is their new talking point. So would you guys want him to stay here forever? Says Scott. What's his name? Who beat that Scott guy? Huh? Scott Jennings. He wants to know, you guys want to keep this gang member in the United States? No, we want due process. We want you to know that you cannot just disappear people without due process, because if it happens to them, it's going to happen to mine. It's going to happen to my black men quickly next. You heard 4547 said that he want to put American citizens. He told that president that he needs to build 5 more prisons like that, because he wants to start sending Americans there. This is what it's about. This is only what it's about to me, because I'm trying to protect mine. And if they can disappear these people without any complaints, without any pushback, without any due process, who you think is next? Who you think have been coming out of prison after 20, 30, 50, 60 years of being in prison for crimes they haven't committed? Do you think that I think that black people are not going to be next? Let's get a habitual habitual criminal offender like 4547 says that he wants to put habitual criminals in these gulags. This is coming from a habitual a criminal who has been found guilty on an array of charges from SA, from continuing to disparage the person who won the SA claim against him, and the 34 other felonies that he has been convicted of. But he wants to send other convicted criminals to this gulag. And this overtly racist regime, who is overtly racist, and make sure you see their overt racism towards blacks. Are you serious? Okay. let me see if there may be one little more, and I want to show you something that also may shock you about this administration and who they want to declare as terrorists. See, that's what they use. Oh well, they are terrorists. Do you want you? This guy it's been declared that they are a gang. Which one did you guys declare as a terrorist group? Trende Aragua or MS-13, who you now say this guy is? Pay attention. They started throwing up word salads.
MS-13 gang terrorist, as they say, like come on guys, like get your heads out of the sand. This guy's a real bad guy. I can't believe you would say he needs due process. But then, I mean, it very nakedly in this post this morning, JD pivots from that, and he is essentially making this broader case against due process for the millions of illegal immigrants who are otherwise here, many of whom have no connection. I mean, the vast majority of whom have no connection to gang activity, no criminal charges of any kind, would not be able to, you wouldn't be able to rustle up criminal charges against them, even if you put like an FBI tail on them. They're just not committing crimes. They're law-abiding people. And it's the rhetorical pivot.
Hold on, sir. They're not committing crimes, sir. Well, J.D. Vance did in defense of his position about this man Garcia. He said that he has a traffic ticket. So, you got to be careful what you say about this man when J.D. Vance says that he has a traffic ticket, not a warrant for the traffic ticket, a traffic ticket. Let's continue.
Not just that they're willing to defy the Supreme Court over this guy they say, erroneously it seems, is a gang member, but also that they openly are desiring and preparing to also try to eliminate due process for the much broader group of people in the country illegally, is I think the other part of this, as you say.
Yes, I think that's a way of interpreting what they're doing with Abrego Garcia. In fact, they're actually trying to establish a precedent by which they don't have to give these people due process, and by which the actual facts of their case don't matter at all.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen announced last night that he was heading to El Salvador to try to spotlight this case, going to the CCOT prison there to I guess he's going to try to go inside. I don't know whether that's likely to be permitted or anything like that.
I think they're
hold on.
looking for proof of life, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
I think they're looking for proof of life as well. So I think that's what Chris Van Hollen is looking for. Okay, so so I gave you the story, showed you when he was at the airport on his way. I told you that he was not allowed to see him at all. And that's why I didn't believe before I found out that Van Hollen was going, that this man, if he is still alive, that will be their excuse for not sending him home. Because unfortunately, in the heat of the night last night, something happened to him. Okay, so let me let you hear what Van Hollen had to say. Chris Van Hollen had to say about his trip there.
Senator Chris Van Hollen just flew to El Salvador to meet with the vice president and make sure that Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia is still alive. That's the Maryland father who was illegally deported. But the senator was denied a face-to-face meeting with Kilmar, which is incredibly terrifying. And what the Salvadorian VP admitted after is even worse. So let's play this video, and then I'll break down how El Salvador denied the senator a visit with a mistakenly deported man. Let's take a listen to Senator Van Hollen speaking in El Salvador right after he was denied. Make sure you drop a like to help boost this message.
Now, the courts of the United States have said there's no evidence to support the charge that he's part of MS-13. So I asked the vice president whether or not El Salvador has any evidence that he's part of MS-13 or has committed a crime.
And there was no evidence. No evidence from the US, no evidence from El Salvador. The only evidence there is that this guy was a part of MS-13 is that he was wearing Bulls merch and that some unnamed uncorroborated witness said they think he's a part of MS-13.
Dearest liver, I used to think all you did was filter alcohol. You actually filter everything.
So I asked the vice president if Abrego Garcia has not committed a crime, and the U.S. courts have found that he was illegally taken for the United States, and the government of El Salvador has no evidence that he was part of MS-13. Why is El Salvador continuing to hold him in CCOT? And his answer was that the Trump administration is paying El Salvador, the government of El Salvador, to keep him at CCOT.
What he's referring to is the Trump admin paying El Salvador $25,000 per person per year that they send over. But that arrangement was set up for MS-13 gang members who committed crimes. Garcia is neither of those things. He had a traffic ticket violation in like 2017.
And I pointed out that neither the government of El Salvador nor the Trump administration has presented evidence to support the claim that he's committed any kind of criminal acts. And so why not release Abrego Garcia today? And he said what President Bukele said the other day at the White House, which that El Salvador can't smuggle Mr. Abrego Garcia into the United States.
He doesn't have to smuggle Abrego Garcia. The Trump admin themselves got an order from the Supreme Court, the highest court in the country, saying they have to both facilitate and effectuate the return of Abrego Garcia. There's no smuggling that has to take place. This is such a dishonest game, just so you guys know. Not only is Bukele somebody who's been expanding his executive power in El Salvador, becoming like a pseudo-dictator, maybe not a full-on dictator yet, but a pseudo-dictator. Meanwhile, Trump is also expanding his executive power. He's nowhere near dictator position. We'll never let him get that far. But both of these men are separately expanding their executive power, yet they're both saying they have no power over their own country to return somebody. What?
And I said, I'm not asking him to smuggle Mr. Abrego Garcia in the United States. I'm simply asking him to open the door of CCOT and let this innocent man walk out.
And when he says CCOT, he's referring to the Containment Terrorism Center that Abrego's being held at.
And I pointed out that the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, has said that the United States would send a plane to El Salvador to pick him up. And why did she do that? Because the Supreme Court of the United States, in a ruling of 9-0, has said that the Trump administration has to facilitate his return to the United States. Now, there's no evidence that the Trump administration is complying with that order.
In fact, we just got another ruling that says it seems like the Trump admin is intentionally trying to defy the order from the Supreme Court. It's like, yeah, no shit, obviously. But it's nice that a court is now recognizing that officially.
There's no evidence that they're complying with that order. In fact, the United States Embassy here has told me they've received no direction from the Trump administration to help facilitate his release. So the Trump administration is clearly in violation of American court orders. But that still leaves the question, why is the government of El Salvador continuing to imprison a man where they have no evidence he's committed any crime and they've not been provided any evidence from the United States that he's committed a crime?
They've been provided zero evidence whatsoever. And one of the big headlines that I really want to touch on very quickly, because there's a lot of conversations here about due process, about the violation of rights, the violation of court orders. But a big headline here is the fact that this dude was sent, this father was sent to a slave labor camp where he's going to be tortured essentially. When you're sending these people across to El Salvador, you're sending them to a slave labor terrorism confinement center where they're going to be tortured. Now, here's JD Vance melting down on Twitter this morning. Just check this out. Somebody said on Twitter, Jesse Single said, joining the Trump bandwagon means you either need to be dumb or pretend to be dumb. JD Vance might have mortgaged his morality and his legacy, but he's not dumb. He doesn't actually think anyone's proposing 20 million trials. Rather, he knows he has very, very dumb supporters. And what he's referring to is an argument that JD Vance made last night, where he's like, hey, do you guys expect us to do 20 million trials for every single illegal immigrant here? That's not possible. And his end goal was to blur the lines of what due process is and what it isn't, so that people could be deprived due process. And he's like, not everyone gets a court order. So Jesse Singal says, hey, joining the Trump wagon means you're either dumb or you have to pretend to be dumb. Which one is it, JD Vance? And JD Vance somehow saw this. He's like searching his own name on Twitter and responding to stuff as the vice president. He said, I hate this smug, self-assured bullshit. Strong coming from you, JD Vance. Damn. He said, quote, I know I'm right, and people must be dumb or immoral to disagree with me. It's an easy way to go through life, because then you never have to think seriously about why your worldview is a justification for the mass invasion of the country my ancestors built with their bare hands.
His ancestors built this country with their bare hands. Is he serious? Now, I know that you guys have taken Black history out of all of your administration, motherfucker. But see, that's why they took Black history out of all federal agencies, because so a motherfucker like JD Vance can say his ancestors built this country by hand, by their bare hands, or by the back of their slaves' bare hands. Is he serious? I am disgusted. Okay, let's continue this. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Let's continue.
Hands. Dude, what are you talking about? Look how cleanly he flips it on us. It's actually almost impressive how disingenuous he's being.
How disingenuous he's being, and the actual audacity for him to act like white people built this country.
Nobody is defending a mass invasion of the country. That is loaded language in the first place. Nobody's
Okay, and if your ancestors did build this country by hand, what the fuck were they when they came over here and got rid of all the Indians with their smallpox blankets and shit? Were they not immigrants? What was this country not taken over by the immigrants who you want to lie and say built this country by hand? If you want to talk about your fucking ancestors building a country that was already a country that belonged to the Native Americans, and you talking about it's quite strange that he is talking about, do you want this country being taken over by immigrants, and then referencing his own immigrants heritage, his own immigrants family that allegedly built this country by hand. So you can take over a country as an immigrant, but then everybody else is illegal immigrants that's trying to take over the country. Do you see the actual balls of this motherfucking? Because no other person matters in JD Vance's purview other than the white man. And you can see that with the people he follows and he likes on Twitter, or X, a whole bunch of white supremacists who wants to tell you all the good teachings that he gets from Curtis Yarvin, a straight up white supremacist. This is your vice president. The actual balls. I didn't even know this was in here. Obviously, this is my first time hearing this part of it. But the video is in my description box. Let's let him finish this post and we'll go on.
Is even defending criminals. We're not saying that we want more criminals here. We're not saying that if somebody illegally came here and raped a family that they should stay here. We're saying that everybody on American soil, not just citizens, but every person on American soil, as defined by the Constitution, deserves due process, deserves a chance to file a habeas petition and present their own side. Because once you create a new special class of people who are refused due process, anybody can be put into that class, because how do you prove that you're not in that class? It's impossible to. So JD Vance, in a smug, self-assured way, then gives a response saying he hates this smug, self-assured bullshit. He continued his meltdown and said, None of these people can articulate a deportation standard that, one, would satisfy left-wing critics, two, would satisfy their intuitions about what due process is required. Okay, no. We don't have intuitions about what due process is required. It's written there in ink. It is written in black ink in the Constitution that everybody gets due process. Now, he also made this really dishonest analogy saying, do you guys really think immigrants should get the same due process as an American citizen about to be on the death penalty or whatever? It's like, no. Somebody who's about to face the death penalty will, of course, go through a lot of due process, a lot more of the process than an immigrant. An immigrant doesn't even have to be convicted, but they still should get the chance to defend themselves, to show who they are and prove that they're not a criminal, which Garcia never got the chance to do. And that's what this all loops back to. So drop a like for a second.
Okay, so this link is in my description box. Go check out Adam. He does some great commentary. These people who I put in my description box are highly recommended. They ask the questions and make the points and do the investigation that the for-profit media does not do. So avail yourself to some of these links. You will be pleasantly surprised. Now, the reason why I am concerned about this is what does this mean for you and I? So let me definitely share this link with you guys because you need to know what this administration is thinking and who else they are going to try to deem as terrorists. Sebastian Gorka. Absolutely absurd. Sebastian Gorka blasts Democrats for being on the side of terrorists. Let's check this out.
For counterterrorism at the White House. And all right, Sebastian Gorka is a senior.
Now, I don't watch this channel. I heard about this interview. This is not one of the channels that I recommend. I think this is the you'll see the network. I forget the network. I don't watch it. It's one of these almost nearly Fox networks. But I just want to be clear. I just want you to hear this information.
Director for counterterrorism at the White House, and this is a terror subject because these gang members have been labeled as terrorists in this country. And good to have you back, sir. The White House now saying Abrego Garcia is a human trafficker. That's what we learned today from the White House press briefing. And again, a judge ruled 6 years ago that he couldn't be deported from this country.
Okay, so now he's a human trafficker. I'm gonna let you hear that lying press secretary and Stephen Miller claimed this, and JD Vance has also claimed this. So this is where they keep adding on and on and on, but he has no criminal cases against him. I'm not gonna interrupt this anymore, I hope.
Because he was a gang member. And that judge had fears that he would be targeted by rival gangs in El Salvador. Doesn't that just solve the question right there in itself?
Well, the question is solved, Rob. Good evening. At so many levels. Number one, this individual is a foreign national who came here illegally. So that's your first two strikes. Then we find out he's a member of an organization that we recently designated as a foreign terrorist organization. So 3 strikes and you're out. And it's quite telling that we have Democrats on Capitol Hill, not just the lunatics who are torching Tesla dealerships in acts of Tesla dealerships in acts of. It's quite telling that we have Democrats on Capitol Hill, not just the lunatics who are torching Tesla dealerships in acts of terrorism themselves, saying, oh my gosh, the rights of this individual. You mean the terrorist who came here illegally? And that individual who said, I can't go home because one gang that I'm not a member of wants to kill me because I am a member of another gang. Seriously, Rob, if you read this in a fictional novel 10 years ago, you'd say absolutely absurd. This is where we are today. President Trump, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, Tom Homan are trying to keep us safe, but the other side of the aisle is on the side of the terrorists.
And just how comical it is that, again, they dumped all of this into this country. Millions and millions of people were dumped into this country intentionally. It was flagrant. It was treasonous. And now you have the same party that did this to us are sitting.
Who did this to you? Who did this to you? More people came in under Donald Trump first administration than did in Biden's administration. So who dumped these people on you? Who is they?
Back and watching as the White House tries to go through this almost impossible process of deporting millions of people, and they're trying to find any problem they can that they can jump on, you know, to vilify the White House as they try to do the almost impossible mandate that was given to them by the American people of how do you figure out how to deport 15 million people that were invited in by the last president?
Well, why don't they work on that mandate that was given to them by the people to make prices go down, grocery prices to go down? You know, that beautiful word, groceries, that no one was using until 45, 47 said groceries. They ain't working on that. They making that go up with all these ignorant ass tariffs. But we don't want to talk about that. Let's continue.
I came up with this over a year ago when I had my show on Newsmax, Rob, and I realized that the taxonomy of politics in America is dead. It's not left and right. It's not even Republican or Democrat. There's one line that divides us.
Yeah, it's authoritarian. That's what it is. You're exactly right. It's authoritarian. It's not left or right. It's you want it to be authoritarian. You want us to live under a dictatorship. So now he's trying to say that our politics is invalid. Peep game. You need to be led. It's neither left or right. You can't even trust the argument. It just has to go our way, period. No questions asked. That's what he's saying. Peep game.
Do you love America or do you hate America? It's really.
Do you love America or do you hate America? It's really that simple. And if you disagree with us, we'd say you hate America. So therefore, what? Okay.
Quite that simple. And we have people who love America, like the president, like his cabinet, like the directors of his agencies.
Okay, so these are the people who love America. The president, his cabinet, these lying bunches of trash who would do anything to get their way, who you've seen change their lives over this one simple thing. Let's continue. And we're put this country is putting a whole lot of energy into this shit while you're not paying attention to the shit like this motherfucker is saying. And Sebastian Gorka, that doesn't ring to me as a American name. Let's continue. Kind of like Elon Musk, who is taking all of the money from this country that he wants to, who was himself, according to his brother, an illegal alien and has all the keys to the treasure of the United States. So who loves America? Is it Trump that loves America while letting you guys pillage America? Let's continue.
Who want to protect Americans. And then there is the other side that is on the side of the cartel members, on the side of the illegal aliens, on the side of the terrorists. And you have to ask yourself, are they technically aiding and abetting them? Because aiding and abetting criminals and terrorists is a crime in federal statute, Rob.
So if you are not with the president, you're aiding and abetting terrorists. Kind of like he says about the people who at these universities who did a pro-Palestinian sit-in because the Palestinians are being wiped off the face of this earth in a concentrated genocide. Now they say that these people are pro-Hamas, and this is how they form these people who want you to pay attention to the genocide that is going on in Gaza. But now they're pro-Hamas, and they are being taken out of this country as well. So who's the criminals? Who are the criminals? Because we do understand that they are getting their bombs from the United States. So how dare you bring attention to this? We just wanted to slide right through. We don't want people to pay attention. We want to normalize this because we're giving them the bombs. And how dare you try to talk about the innocent old people, women, children who are just being decimated off the face of this earth, because we think that it is great real estate. It's waterfront property. We want to frame that situation over there as real estate. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna let this man say what he got to say. I'm just pissed. Let's continue.
And abetting criminals and terrorists is a crime in federal statute, Rob.
Yeah, and that's what Holman alluded to earlier today. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. Before I let you go, though, I wanted to play this just because I think it'll probably make you laugh. You talked about lunatics earlier. Keith Olbermann is about halfway to the nut house at this point. Here's what he had to say.
Kristi Noem, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, and Tom Homan, the head of ICE, must be arrested immediately for contempt of court. They are defying court orders to return Mr. Abrego Garcia from captivity and torture in El Salvador.
So, again, he's an El Salvador national. He's been sent back to El Salvador. This is their problem now. Go ahead.
Is he the one who said stop the hammering? Is he the one who shouted stop the hammering live on camera? I think Keith Olbermann. Different one?
Actually, I think that was Bill O'Reilly who said that. I think that was Bill. So what do you want to say about Bill?
No.
That was Lawrence
this
O'Donnell.
Individual has hammering. I think
it was Lawrence O'Donnell. My bad.
All right, I think this guy, Oberman, he now has, or this individual has the hammering inside of his head, because there's no other explanation for being on the side of the gang member who is a human trafficker. What American, Rob, is on the side of the illegal who's here trafficking human beings? You have to ask yourself that question.
We hear this trafficking human beings again. This is a new context that they want you to view this under, where there are. Well, if he was trafficking human beings, surely you could have indicted him on these charges and let him be found guilty in a court, and then at least he would have been guilty of a crime, and then you could have sent him back home to the Gulag prison, because if he was found guilty of such, he would be in prison. So but you're paying for him. Okay, so this is what I want you to see, that they say that if you do not agree with them, you must be on the side of whatever they say, and however they choose to frame a situation. If you do not agree with the president, you don't love this country, and you're aiding and abetting, and that's against the law. It is against the law if you don't agree with this president and his administration, and you don't love this country, and that's against the law. The law's for the lawless. Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying. You guys are saying nothing. Hey, Karen. K Barron. I combined it there. You see, I did the 45, 47, the weave. Hey, Choctaw Chiefties, welcome. It's good to see you. I've never seen you here before. I appreciate you coming over. Hit the like button and sit a while. The reporter is a whole foreigner. This is crazy work. Ronnie Hugh, I found you through Bertha May. Thank you for this type of content. New sub here. I appreciate you, and I appreciate Bertha May as well. I see this is the information I can use. That fighting is getting old. I concur. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I try to. Yeah, it does sound Russian, Gorka. That reporter needs some speech therapy. Well, at times I think I need some too. Okay. I'm washing dishes, but I'm definitely listening. Okay, so you see how this story continues to change, and now you guys hate America if you guys are not buying this story. Let me see what position he does have in it. Sebastian Gorka. Let me see what position he holds in this administration. He's Hungarian. Isn't that where the other dictator Orban, who Trump loves? Isn't that where he's from? Viktor Orban. He's Hungarian. So he's over here talking that Hungarian authoritarian bullshit. Okay. Trump official claims that, let me see, read this about him. Top Trump official claims that defending due process is aiding terrorists. I want to see what position. He is a top Trump official. I just wanted to see. A top Trump administration official said that those demanding due process for a wrongly deported Maryland dad might themselves be accused of aiding and abetting criminals and terrorists. Oh, that was Newsmax. Appearing on Rob Schmidt's Tonight Newsmax, Donald Trump's senior director for counterterrorism. That is his position. This is the senior. See, I need that speech therapy. This is the senior director of counterterrorism. Who said that? Donald Trump's senior director of counterterrorism, Sebastian Gorka, suggested that critics of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's incarceration in a Salvadorian mega prison might even be committing a federal crime. Did you hear what this administration's senior director for counterterrorism said? That you supporters, you guys who support that he gets due process. So I just wanted you guys to understand what's going on here. This just ain't no Joe Blow who's saying this. This man has a position in this administration, and you see what his position is. He's the senior official on counterterrorism. So could he then decide who is a terrorist? It seems like he's already decided that if you don't agree with this president, you don't love this country. So you could be aiding and abetting terrorists. That's why I'm gonna put this link here. I'm reading from this link that I found. Let me present it for you. And I'm going to drop the link in the chat as well, so you will have it. I will drop it in my community wall. This is the article that I'm sharing with you right there. There it is. A top administration official said that those demanding due process for a wrongly deported Maryland dad might themselves be accused of aiding and abetting criminals and terrorists. Appearing on Rob Schmidt's Tonight Show on Newsmax, Donald Trump's senior director for counterterrorism, Sebastian Gorga, suggested critics of Kilmar Abrego Garcia incarceration in a Salvadorian mega prison might even be committing a federal crime. If you are a critic, he said it is not left or right. It is not even Republican or Democrat. There is one line that divides us. Do you love America or do you hate America? It's really quite that simple. Oh, he was born in the UK to Hungarian parents. Okay, so let me drop the link for this article. We just heard him speak. If you want to hear what the article has put, what spin this article puts on it, please go over to this article. There's I think we thoroughly have massaged this bullshit enough. I'm gonna put this in the link. It's gonna be the last link on this page in the description box. I'm gonna name it Gorga. The link to this article is going to be, I'm putting it in the description box right now. And let's move on. I got a couple of more things that I do want to share with you. Oh, is this I think I'm done with this part of the story. I have a clip on there where I think I want to share this one. This unhinged Stephen Miller. You can never get enough of this unhinged Stephen Miller. I first played him when he actually, Russell Vogt is over the Office of Management and Budget. After he did his confirmation hearing, they still hadn't voted on his confirmation. However, he was already making decisions as if he had been confirmed. So one of the first things that 47 did when he got in office, he stopped all government spending. Remember, that was one of the first things he did. He stopped all government spending. And it affected a whole lot of areas, and they had to come back and say, oh, well, we didn't mean, we weren't cutting off this, we weren't cutting off that, we weren't. And so who comes out on the front line, pretty much like I'm about to show you now, and he says that Russell Vogt is the one who said this and that and the other, and he is over the Office of Management and Budget, but he had not been confirmed yet. So he came out and did tell you, the American people, that somebody who had not been confirmed for the position was the one who is actually in the position that he hadn't been confirmed for, and had had ordered the stopping of all government payments. Y'all remember that big fiasco? That was the first fiasco. So Stephen Miller came out and reported that, kind of like this on the front lawn. Okay, so I've had a long history of telling you how unhinged this man is. I want you to hear a little bit more. Here we go. Let's have fun.
Is the president going to ask for him to be returned to the United States or not? Like, yes or no?
So first of all, it's not a question for me to answer, but I think that the assumption that underlies the question is what needs to be corrected.
Okay, so they're out here to ask him questions. And instead, okay, I ain't gonna go into a long diatribe about this. Thing is, then notice the switch. He started demanding answers from the press. Now, this is crazy work. These are the people who are in it. This is the one who orchestrated and thought it was a good idea in the first administration to separate children from their parents. Some of them who have never been reunited with their children who were taken from them. This is the brainchild behind that. Let's continue.
Corrected, which is that there was no mistake that was made. He was sent. So what? Let me ask you. So what do you think would happen to him if he came back to this country? As your understanding of immigration laws, what do you think would happen?
But I'm just asking
it's important to know. You're asking a lot of questions.
The president.
You were all asking a lot of questions about this, and you all seem to care about it a lot. So let's see if any of you have researched anything about this issue at all. Can anyone here tell me what would happen to the illegal alien from El Salvador if he came back to the United States? Does anyone here know? Does anyone want to guess? Any of you?
He could be with his family.
Does any of you know the answer to the question? Legally, what would happen if he came back here? Does any of you know? Any of you?
Do you really believe the Supreme Court?
I'm talking.
Do you
now.
really believe the Supreme Court
I'm talking now.
Doesn't think he should be returned? Why was it unanimous?
You're done.
I'm talking now. No, you were asking them questions, and now they're talking to you. And now you're done. You're done. I'm talking. The arrogance of these idiots. I'm talking. You must stop talking. I'm asking you questions. I'm not out here to answer your question, but no, I'm gonna. Do you know? No, I'm gonna reframe anything you ask me. I'm gonna reframe it on my bullshit agenda and try to make it seem like I have a valid point. I want to pretend. I wonder. Here's a question that I want to know. Here's a question that I want to know. Are they drug testing these people in this administration? I really want to know. Are these people being drug tested? Can somebody tell me? Are Elon Musk and these Doge characters being drug tested? Is Pam Bimbo being drug tested? This man being drug tested? Because these people have to be high. Is that Levitt chick being drug tested? Because we need to know that we have a sound mind over our government, and for some reason none of this appears to be going on in this government. I want to know if this is natural or is induced. And I also want to know, this Stephen Miller character, has he ever gotten any coochie yet, or whatever may suits his fancy? Is he still upset that he was the nerd that nobody liked? It seems like this is his power trip. I think I heard he was married. I'm not sure. I think I heard he was married. But he strikes me as the nerd in school that is mad at everybody because he didn't get any coochie. And now he has power, and he's going to wield it on you like he couldn't wield his dick in some coochie. That's what I'm getting from this guy. I don't know. I don't know if he even likes coochie. I don't know. But let's continue.
Does any of you know the answer to the question? Does any of you? You've been talking about it for days.
All would deport him again now.
He would be arrested. Okay. He'd be put in confinement. He would be deported the second time to El Salvador again, because there's no withholding order for an alien who's a member of a foreign terrorist organization, number one. Number two is the gang that he's a member of doesn't exist in El Salvador anymore. So what you're asking for is to be deported twice. But additionally, if we chose to just pretend that the withholding order was real, he would be deported to a different country So, for example, he could be deported to Egypt. So I'm just trying to understand, is it your view, in other words, you have to find a country that would be willing to take a MS-13 member from El Salvador. So I'm trying to understand from you all is, so if he came back and under our laws, he was then deported to Egypt.
Why are you trying to understand anything from them? You're supposed to be giving them information about the administration. So now you're out here on a whole motherfucking gaggle about, I'm trying to understand from you guys. Well, understand that I asked you a question, bitch, that you're deflecting. Understand that. And we'll have some understanding out here. Okay, so, oh my God, this guy just works my nerves. I tell you, he is so ridiculous.
Or to Somalia, would you then be saying, great, I'm so glad that you deported him to another country? Is that what you'd all be saying? But do you understand our immigration laws at all? But
and you notice how they continue to ignore the fact that he had a stay on his immigration, and they want to act as if he didn't. See, this is the premise where they're coming from. Okay. So he would be deported somewhere else. And if he comes back, he's going to be arrested and to be deported somewhere else. Are you an immigration judge as well? No, they expect what they want to be done. They expect to say what they want done and it to be done to the Constitution be damned. And see, this is what this Supreme Court gets, because it gave him in that presidential rights that went before the Supreme Court. For them to try to make it harder for people to prosecute him for the crimes that he had already committed. They went back and gave him presidential rights that he could do whatever he thought was under his power as the president, to try to manage him not being prosecuted for crimes. And then, so I guess they thought that he would not be in the White House again. They did him a big one, and now he's giving them the big one, the big middle finger. He's saying, fuck you, Supreme Court. And they have no one to blame but themselves.
The premise of your question, the gentlemen, the return guys, do you know the difference between a deportation order and a withholding order? Do you know the difference? Any of you, please. Do you? Well, we're not in the government. But you couldn't even spend 72 hours over the weekend learning the distinction, even though you've been writing and talking about it this whole time.
Okay, so this is the administration that we're dealing with. So let me facts, Ronnie. Yeah, it's crazy. That's where they left us. I don't know what they thought was going to happen, but now they fucked around and found out as well. Another fuck around and find out situation with the Supreme Court. There is one more thing that I want to share with you guys for sure. One more thing I want to share with you guys for sure is, let me find it right quick. It's in my description box. Manic Miller. I have 3 things about Manic Miller. I can't play them all. I just can't play them all. Oh, this is what I want to share with you guys about regulations, about why Elon Musk is so keen on making sure that regulations are taken off. Okay, so you may want to watch. I'm going to get right to. Oh, Okay, I'm gonna share this with you. Let me about regulations and what Elon Musk says about regulations and how he got rid of all the agencies that are doing regulations on his businesses. So let me share this with you. Where is it? Here it is, right here.
In the 1950s and 60s, PG&E admits it dumped 26 tons of a coolant made of chromium-6. The chemical is toxic and causes cancer.
Every community that I deal with that has been exposed to chromium-6, they have the same health symptoms.
I've had several stomach surgeries. I've had a hysterectomy. I've had several lumps removed from my breast.
This is a company that has great technology. They certainly have the money. You can't control this plume here in Hinckley after everything that's happened.
It's not complicated. Don't dump cancer, toxic stuff into places where people live. And the people in the position to know how toxic it was, of course, were the people who worked at the company and ran the company, but they were more interested in money. So there's a reason why rules enforced by the government exist in many countries to prevent exactly that kind of thing. Because if the company doesn't face those rules and real-time enforcement, they'll do what you just saw they did. And you or your children could end up sick or dead. I'm speaking very directly because this is the stakes. The company knew what it was doing. They even, after the fact, fought to avoid having to pay for health care for the thing they caused. The film even depicts a meeting between the Brockovich firm and the company where she goes after the company for what it did and calls their bluff on the fact that after the fact, they also deceived about the safety of the water.
These people don't dream about being rich. They dream about being able to watch their kids swim in a pool without worrying that they'll have to have a hysterectomy at the age of 20. Like Rosa Diaz, a client of ours, or have their spine deteriorate like Stan Bloom, another client of ours. By the way, we had that water brought in special for you folks. Came from well in Hinckley.
Bars. PG&E, in the real world example, had to settle for what at the time was a huge amount of money, over $300 million. It was the largest such settlement at that time. Environmental regulators have tried to work to prevent that from happening to you. As the Erin Brockovich character said, again, based on a real person, people want to live their lives. They shouldn't have to think about this all the time. And if we don't slash all these government rules, they don't have to think about it. But that's the issue around those chemicals. Regulators were still fought by industry. California only recently became what is the first state to order a phase out of those chemicals in that same Hinckley community. Now, safety experts have long warned regulations are written in blood.
Okay, so you would think with all of this information that we have about safety regulations, the EPA, I always talk about this when I'm talking about these corporations and them wanting less regulations, less regulations to what? Pollute our our air again. I grew up most of my life in Southern California. I remember when the smog was so thick that the sky was all oranges and orange haze. You didn't know if it was going to be real smoggy or less smoggy, but you surely didn't see the views that you see in California today, the vast views that you get. Sometimes you couldn't see 3-4 feet in front of you. If you're trying, you couldn't see anything, any types of views. It didn't matter how high you were in a building. You were in the midst of smog. So is this what they want to bring back? All the contaminants that they put in their cooling ponds that leach into natural water, that leach into people's well water. You know, there are people in areas that use well water. What was that? I think it was Dow. Was it Dow? It was Dow, and there was another company, a huge company that had pigs, and that pig waste, they put that in a big pool, and it's just pig waste, urine and feces, and it seeped into some well water, and it was overfilling, and it was leaching into the ground. So do you want that to be found out months later, that you have been that you're getting sick from your water, from what a corporation has not done or has done or has been allowed to do? So what does after all of finding out all of this is the Aaron Brockovich story. I never saw the movie. I know the story of the movie, but they didn't want to drink their own water because they knew what they were putting in the water. See, because it doesn't affect them. They don't live in the communities that are affected. These are not the illnesses that they are going to get. So they don't care. So my whole point of this is what Elon Musk has to say about regulations. The biggest welfare queen in the United States, who, while he is dismantling people's jobs, insurance, security, this motherfucker is continuing to get government contracts. So this is what he says about regulations and what it's doing to him and his poor businesses. This is the whole point that I'm trying to get in this video. Okay, we're right at it right now.
Meaning the history is bloody, injurious, or sometimes involves avoidable death. That there are dangerous consequences with lives at stake, and the rules come out of those past histories written in blood, but sometimes trying to ensure no more blood in the future. But you ignore them at your peril. This is the nonpartisan safety and security background to all of the Trump cuts that hit safety regulations, nuclear power plants. Deregulation, the Wall Street Journal says, will be a new high watermark. In other words, if true, if they get to where they want to go, they will deregulate more than ever before, which includes the examples I just showed you, and you saw the results. Now, the administration and its MAGA allies often say this is also about saving money, and you hear talk about the government being too expensive at the federal level. But many of tonight's examples show how corporations are often pushing against what they view as rules that cut into their money. Not your taxpayer dollars, their profits. To say nothing of the safety of the people who live in this country and fund the government, and also, by the way, are consumers for those businesses. So with that in mind, I want you to notice now, I said sometimes you got to go back in history to then come back to the present. Who's leading this deregulation purge? It's a billionaire business person. Here's Elon Musk on regulations.
Regulations basically should be default gone. Default gone, not default there, default gone. And if it turns out that we missed the mark on a regulation, we always add it back in.
This is the aircraft carrier shelter you seized.
Hold on, 1 second, I apologize.
Of about 800 people.
Now it's
Hold
entirely
on,
yours.
I hit the wrong one.
Although you lost over.
If we missed a back to the present, who's leading this deregulation purge? It's a billionaire business person. Here's Elon Musk on regulations.
Regulations basically should be default gone. Default gone, not default there, default gone. And if it turns out that we missed the mark on a regulation, we always add it back in.
If we missed a mark, add it back in. Does that sound like a good idea once the toxic cancer chemicals are in the land? Then add it back in afterwards? Musk is leading an effort that is Donald Trump's plan and power. He is ultimately responsible. They're purging employees. They're eliminating the few people on the job that look out for your safety, including in toxic and nuclear contexts, enforcement of rules that do the type of prevention of exactly the catastrophes we've discussed tonight, which paves the way for the risk of those things happening again or worse. They're going directly after health agencies that do exactly the kind of screenings and rules that I talked about tonight. At home, Trump's health secretary has halted data collection on everything from cancer to HIV, Experts say we will be more vulnerable for years to come because some of these things have long-term consequences. They're also blocking data around vaccines. We showed you tonight harrowing examples of what it looks like when governments, ours or others, cut too many rules. It's dangerous for you. That includes the 2008 financial crash, which spread in all sorts of deep long-term ways, includes contaminated water that got people sick, and the government oversight failures, and having people in charge who just want to cut all the regulators and deal with the bailouts and the bankruptcies later. So as they purge these agencies and cut funding, this could affect you, your health, and the well-being.
We'll get you on the back end, and we'll whittle down these settlements. We'll, offer 50 million in a class action. We don't care if it's 50 million people in the class action lawsuit. We don't care. Shit. We may give you half of you motherfuckers something that you would die before the case is settled. So we'll take our chances. We want our money. We want our guap. We don't care what happens to you as a human being. But if you do survive, buy our product. We may be the only product you can buy because we may have a monopoly in your area. We could be your electricity company that's poisoning. I don't know. Just buy our products and stay the fuck out of my face with your complaints. Is this what we're talking about? Is this what we're doing? Okay. I think we're almost done with that.
Being of the people in this country. I say that based on the facts and the history, without any view of partisanship or even the personalities involved, which sometimes get so much attention. If your problem with Elon Musk is that you don't like his style, that's a whole other conversation. But the problem we see tonight is that Elon Musk, empowered by Donald Trump, on behalf of a business history that doesn't like costly rules that cut into their profits, he is wrong. Wrong in ways that could prove catastrophic.
And deadly. Not only catastrophic, well, I guess that's one way of looking at it, but a catastrophe could leave you mangled somewhere in bed, but a death is permanent. Now, I say that to say this. I said all of that to say this. I wonder if you guys have heard about this story. Let me make sure it's sharing. Yes, it is sharing. I wonder if you guys have heard about this particular story in particular. That the Trump administration hates DEI, and it also is not a big fan of, what is this? Settlement in a majority Black Alabama county following Trump's DEI executive order. Okay, so they have eliminated this settlement because he is against DEI and social, I think it's social justice. He doesn't believe in that. I think that's the term. Okay, so what is this story? In Justice Department terminates sewage settlement in majority Black Alabama county. Okay, on April 11th, the Trump administration announced that it would be terminating a historic settlement negotiated by the Biden administration that would have improved wastewater treatment for majority Black communities in Alabama, calling the settlement an illegal DEI and an environmental justice policy. Do you remember? Because they don't believe that there is any type of environmental thing that should be studied by their the administration or should get any type of justice from their administration. I will keep that. I want to stay on track. So, it's DEI because it's helping Black people. They can't have water without sewage in it. Y'all knew about this? According to Inside Climate News, the settlement had been negotiated by former President Joe Biden's Department of Justice and the Department of Health and Human Services with officials in Alabama, marking the first time that the federal and civil rights laws were used to erase the impact of the environmental racism. According to the Assistant Attorney General, from the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, the DOJ will no longer push environmental justice as viewed through a distorting DEI lens. Well, why won't you just look at it's disgusting to stop people from getting water with sewage in it? You can't look at it through that eyes. So you don't believe these people deserve water without sewage in it. So you're going to try to hang up on some DEI and environmental justice bullshit. Okay. President Trump made it clear Americans deserve a government committed to serving every individual with dignity and respect, and to expanding taxpayer resources in accordance with the national interest, not arbitrary criteria. Did you know this? The move concerns the community's residents. The agreement provides aid to people so lacking in basic water and sewer facilities that they must pipe sewage away from their homes. Brock stated to Inside Climate News, what is at stake are legitimate concerns for their health and their rights to humane living conditions. Revoking those promises based on disfavored buzzwords is arbitrary, inhumane, and ignorance the substance and purpose of the agreement. So I think there's a video on this. Let me see. Okay.
Also build trust with the Elkins Water Board has voted to stop serving that area at the expense of Elkins residents. Last night, the Water Board voted unanimously to discontinue water services to Whitmer. Elkins took over operation of the small unincorporated community's water service after the Whitmer Water Association was deemed a failed utility by the West Virginia Public Service Commission in 2023. The city of Elkins was legally required to assist Whitmer customers and offer water services, even at the expense of the city and its own water customers. This week's Water Board vote recommends that City Council stop complying with the order from the PSC and discontinue operations of Whitmer's water system until the state PSC can find sufficient funds needed to operate and maintain that system.
Now, this isn't a part.
Over water operations in a small Randolph County community.
This isn't even a part of.
At the expense of Elkins residents.
This isn't even a part of this story. This is in West Virginia. He don't care about you for poor white people either. Y'all can't do nothing for him. As Black Enterprise previously reported, the Alabama Department of Public Health formerly held that the only barriers to them addressing sewage issues in the state were the ability or resources to manage said issues. Now, Ryan Esterling, the Department of Public Health spokesperson, seems to have changed that tune, saying that they don't have the authority to manage sewage issues in rural areas. The installation of sanitation systems and related infrastructure is outside their authority or responsibilities conferred upon ADPH by state law, Esterling said in an email. Nonetheless, the AD. Wait a minute. Is this a different story? No, it's not. No, okay. Easterling said via email, nonetheless, the ADPH will continue working with sub-grantees on installation of septic systems and as contemplated by the interim resolution agreement until appropriate funding expires. The United States Rep. Terry Sowell disputed the characterization of the Trump administration, saying that the agreement had nothing to do with DEI, but instead represented a public health crisis. He don't care about public health. If he did, he wouldn't have cut all these HHS staff down. He don't give a damn about no public health. Okay. It was about addressing a public health crisis that has forced generations of children and families to endure health hazards of living in proximity to raw sewage, as the DOJ itself documented. Representative Sewell said by by terminating it, the Trump administration had put its blatant disregard for the health of my constituents on full display. Representative Sewell continued, access to adequate wastewater infrastructure is a basic human right. Without support from the Trump administration, it is vital that the Alabama Department of Public Health continue to do its part to remedy this injustice. I will continue fighting to address Alabama's rural wastewater crisis and get our communities the infrastructure that they deserve. Okay, so I didn't know if y'all knew about this. DEI, it has to be DEI if it involves Black people. We're not gonna spend no money on no Black people getting clean water. So I just wanted to know if you guys were up and aware on these things that are going on in your nation, and in conjunction with this as well, they are no longer giving out FEMA money in North Carolina. These are the people who voted him in. So did they fuck around and find out? I think they fucked around and found out. Even though that there is still a window for them to continue to get FEMA money, he said, "Fuck it, y'all ain't get no FEMA money." Remember, these are the same people who were bemoaning Biden and bemoaning Harris for saying that they could get a bill out so they can get $750 immediately, not $750 in total, $750 for people who needed gas, food, a room for a couple of nights, and people were poo-pooing it and acting as if that was her whole agenda to give them $750. Okay, so now you ain't getting shit. So if you ain't got shit from FEMA, all of these people who are living on private lands, or people who have opened up their lands for them to put trailers and shit in. I showed you one of these encampment of trailers that they have. They have outdoor food. People are donating them food and all of this type of stuff, and campers to live in and all of this type of stuff. But these people have not been able, at that point where I played the video, had not been able to connect with FEMA and get FEMA funds going to them. So if there are people who are still in this condition, you're going to stay in that condition as far as Donald Trump is concerned, because it is so much rare earth minerals in Asheville. A lot of these people were from Asheville, North Carolina. We definitely ain't putting y'all back on top of that land, because we are in bed with the tech bros, and they need some natural earth minerals, and your land is just enriched with them. So the only person that's going to be setting up shop is some tech companies in Asheville, in my opinion. We'll see. Let's see. Let's wait this out. But you ain't getting no money to rebuild, I tell you that. So is there anything else? I think that's all for me today. I thank you guys for joining me. If you want to hear about the people who were still it's under the channel status quo. Let me drop their link for you. If you haven't watched Status Quo, you're missing something. Here's the link for them. Go over there and check them out. It's a great channel. Here, I'm gonna drop the link. And that's where the story about the people who were still waiting on FEMA. Here it's the link. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything else before I leave. I think I got everything. I'm sure as soon as I leave, I'm going to see something new that I want to report on. Oh, now they're saying that U.S. is in panic as I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Okay, so that's all that I have today. I appreciate you guys for supporting my channel as other people do what they do. I appreciate you guys who show up for the actual things that are really affecting the world today, the things that I talk about. So I appreciate you. If you want to support the channel, $ Ronnie Q. I'm looking for mods for my channel. If you want to be a mod on my channel, you can raise your hands today, tomorrow, any other time, and let me know that you would like to be a mod that actually shows up to my channel. I would appreciate that. So I'm putting the word out. Hey, Binge Thinker, grand rising to you. I was on my way out. So I appreciate all of you guys. Hit the like button, comment in the comment section, and I hope to see you guys back here. I spend $30 a month for water delivery. That's not including my water bill. Yeah, you got to be better safe than sorry, because it's no telling what you getting out of these pipes nowadays. You're down to mod? Okay, I will make you a mod. I greatly appreciate that. Let me get I'm on the wrong page. I was on my StreamYard. I definitely appreciate that. Hold on 1 second. Let me get to your comment. Yes, replay binge thinker. Thank you, Chow Tao. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me see. I don't see. I don't see the comment anymore. They never will fix the water. It reaches too many black homes. I live in the Detroit suburbs. The water stinks. Yeah, and somebody said that they don't understand why they don't allow catching rainwater. That is the craziest thing in the world. And but with so much stuff being blown in the atmosphere, at least you could cycle the rainwater and you can actually collect rainwater. I know in some areas they have these 5,000 gallon containers that and then you add pipes to the container. You ship it through filtration system and can have it pumped into your house. It goes through a filtration system. One of the tiny house builders that made some shipping container houses, that's what they do. They collect their water and it's free. But some people don't allow you to collect your water. Sometimes people will put a big barrel under their gutter. They will cut their gutter off short enough where it will pour right into their barrel, and they'll put a spout in the barrel, and they'll use it to water their yards and gardens and things like that. It's a lot of ways that they prevent you from collecting rainwater. Now, who said that they would be a mod? I can't. Was it Leonard? Who was that who said they would be a mod? I'm looking for. I wasn't on my YouTube page. I have to be on my YouTube page to make you a mod. Okay, thank you, Leonard. Okay. So I appreciate it. And I let people stay. Did it? It did it. Hold on. I let people stay in the chat as long as they are not disrespectful to you, mods, or myself, and as long as they're not talking any crazy stuff. Leonard, say something. I don't see your mod thing on. Oh, hold on. Now you said something after I. Hold on, Leonard. Oh, okay. I see it now. Thank you, Leonard. Now I have to re-add you. Okay, so I'm re-adding you. Okay, thank you, Leonard. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you all for being here, and I hope you have a great remainder of your day. And God bless you. If you want to support the channel, $ Ronnie Q, you can become a member. And don't forget, on the 25th of this month at 6:00 p.m., I'm doing something different. The crafting and conversation. We get together and we craft and we converse with each other. This month, I'm upping the ante, and we are going to be making this little bench. This little bench for your flowers or whatever you choose to use it for. It's a small bench. It's approximately 21 inches high, approximately 25 to 27 inches wide. It is a great bench to put a couple of flower pots or any type of decor on or under, and it is a great project. The flyer for this event is on my community wall. The things that you need to buy is on the community wall. The wood pieces, you need 3 pieces of 1 by 2, 1 inches thick, 1 inches thick, 2 inches wide wood. You need 3 pieces of that. It runs about $1.75 each. Each piece is 8 feet long, though. On my community wall, there is the list of the things you would need, and there's also a cutting list. When you go to Home Depot, for instance, to buy these 8-foot long pieces of wood, they will also cut the wood. The cutting list of how many pieces at whatever different lengths you need is also on my community wall. Come out and join me. The only tool that you will need is a drill to pre-drill your holes in your wood. You can paint it any color that you like. These are some different examples, but come out and craft with me. Let me see what else. The main things that you need are this is the paint, spray paint. You can use this 2X spray paint. That is a paint and primer included. You can use that. That would be for instance, the white section of this bench, and you would need some stain. If you already have stain, use whatever kind of stain you want, or if you wanted to paint the stained area, which would be the arms and the seat. Or you can buy some, what is it called? I forget what it's called. Oh my God. I'm having a brain fart. Antique, and what is it? Antiquing wax. It has the same effect as stain. You can find it at a small one at Dollar Tree. It would be more than enough. The little small bottle, you'd be like, I need more. No, you don't need no more. They sell it at Michael's. They sell it at Walmart. They sell antiquing wax is what it's called. You can use that, or if you already have stain, just use the stain. Or if you want to paint it, you can paint it all. The prices are here. Let me remove this comment. The prices are here for you, and you need 3 packs of 5-gallon paint stick stirrers. You know, when you need to mix the paint of the 5-gallon, the big thing of paint, you need 3 packs of those. They are approximately, for 3 packs, they are $4.44 for 3 packs. The stain, this is at Home Depot prices, is $7.98. If you already have stain, use the stain that you already have. If you already have spray paint, or you don't have to spray paint it, you can paint it. The spray paint is approximately $5 and something, and what is this? The 3 pieces of wood, the 3 pieces of 8-foot long wood that you need comes to about $5.25 for all 3 pieces. This project is approximately $23.65 for all of the things that are needed. If you want to sand your wood, get it cut at the Home Depot or Lowe's. The cut list is on the flyer, so all the information of the things that you need there, and the number of screws that you need and what length of screws that you need are also on the flyer. So I forgot to put the screws on here, but screws are very inexpensive. Get some wood screws. Okay, so, and you need a drill, and we're going to pre-drill the holes. If you want to use wood glue, you're more than welcome to use wood glue. You're more than welcome to use that CA glue. It's kind of like crazy glue. It's like a crazy glue consistency, and it also has an activator, which is an aerosol activator. So you drop a drop of glue on one piece of wood, and you spray the activator on the piece of wood that you're going to stick to it, and it has a very strong hold. I'm not saying that you would use this only. We are still going to put the screws in, but for people who have a hard time or are kind of afraid of drilling or whatever, drilling a pre-hole, that will hold the wood, so you don't have to hold the wood to pre-drill the hole in the wood. So these are just helpful hints that I'm giving you that may help you with the project. I hope you guys join me on the 25th of this month at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be creating our bench. A couple of us get together and we do crafting projects. And I hope you guys go on my community wall, check out the list, and join me. Hey, Liz, how are you doing? Liz, did you go jogging yesterday? I'm extremely fair. I don't be hating on free speech or no weirdness. Thank you. Ronnie got some good projects. Okay, I see you, girl. Yeah, we try to get together and talk about some other things and just have some fun. And you should have been here. I have it on my community wall. When we did our Christmas balls, oh, that was a ball. It was so many ball jokes. We had a good time. You can go check it out on my community wall, crafting and conversation. We did some Christmas. We decorated Christmas ornaments, the little balls that you put on the tree. We did a Mickey and Minnie Mouse theme of Christmas balls, and we had a great time. So yeah, we try to mix it up over here. All right, guys. Yes, I went yesterday and got caught up in neighborhood politics. Oh my goodness, Liz. Yes, keep it up, Liz. Health is wealth. Now, what is Mike talking about? Hold up. Yes, it would look awesome on your porch. And Mike, I'm telling you, go to my community wall. The supply list is on my community wall. You can make this. I just showed you the cost of the things that you need is approximately $23. If you got some sandpaper, if you got a drill at home, these are the things that you need. It's on my community wall post. These are Home Depot's price. I know some of you don't have Home Depot's. Home Depot, let them cut the wood. The cut list is on the community wall as well. These furring strips are 8 feet long. It tells you how many you need at 17 and a half inches, how many you need at 9 inches. Go over there, get your 3 pieces of furring strips, have them cut it, and come create with us Friday the 25th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also get these little tacks from Home Depot or Walmart to put on the 4 legs to prevent the wood from touching the ground, just in case it rains, just in case you spraying down your porch or something. It'll look great on your porch, your patio, wherever. You can decorate it however you want. Little pots. You can actually put the pots on the armrests as well. Under the, you can do so much with it. Come out and join us, or you can just watch. You're more than welcome to be here. Okay, so I thank you all for being here. Have a great day. You too as well, Bench Thinker. I'm out of here. That's all I got for today. I may take tomorrow off. I may not. If you see my live setup, I usually set up my live the night before. Sometimes I take Friday off. Sometimes I don't. It depends on what I see. Strictly Platinum. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here. It depends on if a lot's going on. A lot piles up on the weekend. This administration is every day with some breaking news. So peace to you. You guys be safe as well. So that's all I got for you today. Have a blessed day. And thank you for being here. All right. Bye-bye.
In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air. It's time for Ronnie Q.